What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to my channel on this Wednesday. This is Infinite Talk with my friend John Talks. Hello, John.
What's up, Nina? How's it going? How's it
Hi,
going, chat?
Hi,
Good to see you
chat.
guys.
Hello. We are live across all three platforms: Rumble, YouTube, and Twitter, Twix, Twitter X, whatever it's called nowadays. Please make sure you smash the like and share the stream wherever you are watching. If you're watching on Twitter, you can probably retweet it, whatever, exit, re-exit. I don't know. I can't.
What do you call it?
I'm still stuck on Twitter. Sometimes I'll call it X, like when I'm typing, I'll just write X. But then again, when I speak, I'm still calling it Twitter. I don't usually call it X. It doesn't.
Yeah, because
It sound
it feels weird. What do you say? Like, oh, an X post. You call it a tweet, right? Or you
yeah.
retweeted something, or
Like I saw something on Twitter the other day. I don't say I saw something on X the other day.
right.
I don't think that those words have ever left my mouth. You know what's funny is when I was watching um Elon Musk on Joe Rogan, I noticed Joe Rogan calls it Twitter all the time. And even Elon was calling it Twitter. And then he kind of would catch himself and he'd be like, yeah, like, when I post on X or like whatever, like he would catch himself once in a while, like try and change Joe's like saying Twitter to X. And I was like, see, this is why you're forcing it. Like nobody wants to
Even
call it.
even Elon himself, the guy who rebranded it, still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
funny.
it's a hard habit to break. But we are here on Thanksgiving Eve. So happy Thanksgiving, John.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving in advance.
Are you doing anything? Like, are you gonna do a big Thanksgiving meal with your family? Your
I
whole
don't know if it's necessarily big, but it's yeah, just chilling with my immediate family and yeah, just real laid
getting
back.
together.
Yeah, watching some Detroit Lions football. So,
Cool.
yeah,
Very American. I because as you know, we've been hanging out for a long time now. You know, I'm in Mexico, and Mexicans don't really do Thanksgiving. So I introduced the Thanksgiving celebrations to my friends. So now for the past basically like 7 years that I've been here, we've
that's
been
cool.
doing Friendsgiving every Thanksgiving, every American Thanksgiving. But because they work and it's not a holiday here, we're doing ours on Friday.
Oh,
So
okay.
because then they'll be off, like, and they can chill and relax. So we were like, you know what? Let's just do it on Friday. We're getting all the food together, prepping and everything like that on Thursday, and then Friday we're gonna have a big feast.
Nice.
And then my friends have now invited like other Mexican friends of theirs because they're like,
Cool.
this is amazing. It's like such a great feast and it's so fun. So like more people are coming this year. So I'm like, this is cool. Like
Do you do
Mexicans are getting involved.
the usual turkey and all the fixins of
Yep,
American
turkey,
Thanksgiving?
fixins. Sometimes we do ham. There's been times where we've been gone on unconventional. Like one year we did like an Asian Thanksgiving, so we had like Thai food
Nice.
and stuff like
See
that.
that
You know what I mean?
I'm like totally down with the idea of doing something like that. Like I would rather I I just don't have a whole lot of love for turkey. Like it's
Mhm,
definitely nutritious, like it's good for you, but I don't like the after effects of it, how you feel comatose and tired.
mhm, mhm.
I'm totally up. I'd be up for that. Like if my family said, you know what, we're just gonna get pizza on
Yeah,
Thanksgiving, I'd be like, all right, let's do
let's
it.
do it.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
like, I mean, we've done that too just to, like, change it up a little bit. Like, we've done Asian Thanksgiving before. One time I did Persian Thanksgiving where I just made Persian food and because, Persian food takes a long time to cook too. It's not a joke like turkey,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, look, somebody's watching us on X.
Nice.
Hi, my thoughts blue." Says, "Go Nina." Well, thank you. Um, I also I saw this. I thought it was funny. Let me pull this up. I was like, "Wait, what?" This was posted from like the National Park Service. What a creepy little post. Look at this. It says, "Your chances of being hunted by a turkey are low, but never zero." And they got this like creepy little turkey looking at you.
Oh,
Oh my god.
if I had the
Oh yeah,
Twilight Zone or dun
right.
dun
X.
dun, yeah.
Also an X Twix.
It's a turkey. It's a stalker.
It's a turkey stalker. It's
He's
a
like, "I know what you're doing in there. You're cooking my
he's
my
one.
bird."
I have heard that wild turkeys are especially savage. Like they'll actually like chase you and attack you. I have never been attacked by a turkey before. Have you or anyone you known been attacked by a turkey?
It sounds like a I don't even know what does that sound? It sounds like a settlement, like one of those like late night lawyer things. Like, have you been exposed to asbestos? It'd be like, have
Yeah.
you been exposed to a turkey attack? Have any of
Oh,
your friends call 177 Saul Goodman?
oh my god, that is totally true. Have you or anyone you know been attacked by a turkey? Call this number now. You might be
You might
eligible
be
for
eligible
settlement.
for yeah, exactly.
You know what's funny? Speaking of settlements, I got an email the other night about a settlement, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this about?" Like, I was like, at first I thought it was fake because you know how it is. Like, you
Yeah.
get fake emails all the time, but it was real. So it was from WestJet, and apparently I'm eligible for some type of WestJet dollars or something like that because they settled like some crazy number of a lawsuit they lost because they charged people an extra baggage fee. And I guess I happened to qualify. I guess I taken a flight at that time. So they emailed me and they were like, "You are eligible for this. Put this code in if you want like some sort of payout." And I was like,
Cool. You mind
"Giddy up,
asking
let's go."
you mind if I ask how much it was?
I think it was, hold on, I'll pull it up. I forget exactly what it was. I want to say it was 12.5 million. Let's see, hold on.
Oh, is that
Or
the
maybe it was
total
more.
settlement?
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah,
How
it
much do you
claims
think you're
open.
eligible for?
Well, I don't know. I'm guessing because that's the funny part too. They didn't say they're going to give you money. They said they're going to give you like WestJet dollars. Like they're going to give you like basically credit.
Okay.
Which is fine. It's like whatever. I'll just get like credit.
Nice.
Claims open to 12.5 million class action settlement over WestJet baggage fees.
All
Um,
right.
and I submitted my claim. Uh, oh my god, can you imagine? It's like $4.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, like, how much will it be?
I'm guessing probably around maybe like $100, like or like the baggage fee. Because it was like 75 to $100 or something like that they charge you extra. So I'm guessing it would be something like that, like maybe 75 to $100 that you would get back at the
Okay.
most. I would assume. I don't think they're
Yeah.
gonna be given like all of it to me. I
Yeah.
I, I hope. I mean, I
Well,
wish.
nobody else claimed it, so here's the $12.5 million.
I know, right? Like nobody else has put that on there, but
I was only
um
looking at my phone because I saw earlier Pyrex. I think those like glass containers. Um,
mm,
there seemed to be like an article that alluded to the idea that maybe there's something wrong with them, and maybe you might be eligible for a settlement. So
mm.
yeah.
Well, I don't know about that brand, but I know that other Yeti brand or whatever it was, those like they have the cups that
Oh
are
yeah.
like this.
Yep.
Apparently they had like lead in it. So about like they found out. So apparently like I guess there's another class action lawsuit or something like that that went through with that and like so they had lead in it. I was like, "What the
Wow.
fuck?" I mean, thank God I don't own one of those, but
Yeah.
I mean that shit's fucked up.
Funny story. My grandma, God bless her, um, she she gave me my grandpa's um, what is it called? Thermos. She gave
A
me his
thermos.
his thermos, and I mean
I
this
was gonna
thing.
say flask,
Yeah,
but that's not that's not the same
that
thing.
would have been a great thing to bring on the job. But this, yeah, she gave it to me because I was working construction, and it was probably around winter or whatever. And I'm drinking some coffee, and I noticed that there's like little metal filings in the coffee after I've been
Oh,
drinking it for a little bit. Yeah,
no.
and it was from like the thermos. So I'm like,
Oh.
hopefully that wasn't too
Ooh.
harmful. Yeah,
Well,
but
how long ago was that?
I mean, this was years ago.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so you're
But
fine.
yeah,
You
I mean, well,
survived.
the effects weren't immediate, so,
Oh,
but
oh my
yeah,
god. What
it's
are you
kind of
drinking now?
um so I've got a Starbucks Keurig. No, I've got a Keurig, and what I can do is I can actually make cappuccinos
Mm,
and lattes with it. And
fancy.
yeah, I've only had it for what, 2.5 years, but I finally realized like, oh, I can make other drinks with this other than coffee. And so I had like peppermint mocha, Starbucks, and it's a latte, which
Are you gonna make
like
it Irish? Because
try.
we're gonna be watching like your vice president
We
getting
should.
fucking drunk as fuck.
We should.
So
We should. I do prefer the cappuccino though. This is the first time I made a latte and I'm like, yeah.
you know
But
what's funny is like I'm a heavy coffee drinker. And for the longest time, everybody was like, why don't you get like a Keurig? And like, why don't you get like this thing? And I was like, the Canadian part of me is so like, that is so wasteful. Like those fucking like little
cups.
caps. I can't do it. Like I was like, I can't like because I drink so much. I'm like my garbage output would be like my green footprint or whatever would be like bad. So I was like, you know what? No, like I'm gonna keep making my lattes and coffee and stuff. I'm not gonna contribute to the landfills with my excessive coffee drinking.
That's interesting because are you aware that the guy who created the Keurig, like that was his biggest regret? He didn't even, I think the guy who created it, I don't even think he made a lot of money off of it because I think somebody else owns Keurig or something happened. But that's like his biggest regret is that the landfill, landfill
Wow, the
element.
landfill problem.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, look at this massive super chat from Low Watermark for $100. Low
Awesome.
Watermark, holy moly. Hey
Awesome.
everyone, support the best positive voice on YouTube. Nina's the best. Low Watermark, happy Thanksgiving, buddy. I hope you're having a fantastic Thanksgiving. Gonna, have your belly full, drinks full, all the
Yeah.
good stuff. Thank you. I would cheers to you, but I have water, but still cheers to you.
Cheers. Happy Thanksgiving. Stuff.
Happy Thanksgiving. And on this note, actually, I do have a new channel for my Infinite Hope show because I was like, you know what? It's time to separate it all so
Awesome.
that I can talk about crazy shit on this channel. This is going to be my main channel where I can talk about nonsense and cringe shit, like what we're going to be talking about right now, like drunk Kamala. I always say her name wrong. And then on that channel is going to be just dedicated to positivity and white pilling you because that's the other half of me is the positive side, excuse me. And then I have a gaming channel where I'm currently playing a really cool cat detective game where like you're kind of like it's like I don't know, it's like a furries like wet dream, that video game, because it's like basically animals that look like humans and they're walking around. It's really cool. It's a really cool game. It's called Black Sad. So I'm playing that over there. So I've separated all. Please make sure that you are subscribed to all of my channels. Thank you so much. And Low Watermark, again, thank you for this very generous super chat.
I just subscribed.
Oh, yay. Thanks, John.
Yeah.
Also, I had DL. Thank you for the 38-month member message. Such a huge supporter. Says, I hope everyone has a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Thank you so very much. Yes, everyone, please have a happy Thanksgiving and safe Thanksgiving. Don't get attacked by turkeys because apparently that happens. DL also sent in $1.99. Says, John, it's carbs that make you drowsy, not the turkey.
Okay. No, I guess that makes more sense. Well, isn't there something in the turkey though
There is a
that does it?
little bit of something. That's why I think a lot of people prefer it's a part of it. Like I think I don't know if it's in the white meat or dark meat, I forget. But the part of the meat is it gives you like this little I forget what it's called. But I know what you're talking about, John. Yes, it does. The turkey has, but also the carbs. And we do intake also a lot of carbs
True.
during eating turkey. Like you have yams, you have potatoes, you have all sorts of carby stuff. It's a myth. I don't know. Ooh, is there a Mythbusters on this? Maybe we should check that out.
Maybe I'm just tired around Thanksgiving. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm not
Maybe
sleeping
you're just
adequately.
old now.
We don't like
That's
to use that 3-letter word.
dude, that's happened to me, John. It's been bad.
Really?
Yeah, like I like literally around like maximum like 2 o'clock, like 2 a.m. I'm out. Like I'm gone. And
Wow.
I'm like,
I wish
no,
I had that problem.
I can't stay up past 2 anymore. No. Like
It's happening. It's
I know
happening.
it's like a nightmare. I'm like, I was telling my husband, I'm like, if it ever happens to me that I'm falling asleep like during watching something around midnight, I'm just I'm gonna become like really depressed. He was like, okay, weirdo.
What time do you wake up usually?
9. My schedule
Okay.
is gone crazy. I never woken up at 9 in my life, and now
Wow.
like
Good for
9
you.
9 in the morning, I'm up. At not like my alarm doesn't even have to go up, and I'm like, why am I up at like 9 in the morning? This is crazy.
Good for you. I wish I
It's
had that
insane.
problem.
I hate it. I hate it. Russell Hall is here. Thank you for the 2. Says, well, I'll be blown. 2 atoms pretty soon, so drink away. Wow.
Isn't that what Popeye says?
Is it? Is
No,
it?
I think he says blow me down. I think that's what he said. Well, blow me. Am I thinking about the right cartoon, chat?
I
Blow
don't
me
think
down.
so. Blow me now?
Blow me down, I think.
Oh
No,
my god. He doesn't say
I did not mean to get into this. And
wow. I don't know.
Popeye.
He says
Am I
sigh.
delusional?
He's hating this
No,
because
it's true. It's true. Popeye the Sailor Man, 1933. That is a saying.
so that it was the blow me down thing. Oh god.
Yeah, that's what's actually said in that cartoon.
This is getting real spicy. I didn't realize how
I
spicy
don't.
Popeye was.
Does it mean something else? I'm not quite sure what else that could mean, but it's got to mean something.
I don't know. John is half right. That's hilarious. Well, thank you, Russell, for the $2. And honestly,
Thank you,
Russell, I'm shocked about your super chat because first of all, your name is Russell Hall, and your icon is pretty normal for you. Like, I mean, this is the most normal icon I think I've ever seen you have. So I'm shocked. Like, is that you, Russell? Is it really you? I don't know. Have you ever been attacked by any other kind of bird other than turkey? Do you have any bird incidents?
One time I was driving back from, I was driving home from work, and it was crazy because my window was just barely open enough, and this bird managed to, he pooped on me. Yeah, it literally. I mean, it was like perfect.
That's the
aim.
worst.
It was perfect aim because I don't even know how it was possible, but it was just like
the wind and the angle. Like,
yeah, it was an incredible shot. Incredible. Like I had to. I just had to laugh. Now during this time, I was terrorizing all of the girls I worked with. I had a screen mask, and sometimes we would record it and we'd post it on the channel for the job, but I was just terrorizing them constantly. So right when that happened, I just felt like it was like an almost instant retribution for all of the terror,
karma.
all of the terror that I was, just absolutely wreaking around the office.
Oh, look at that. DL says yes, Mythbusters did an episode on Tryptophan and turkey. That's the word I was thinking of. The Tryptophan.
Interesting. Okay.
Will you look it up, John? Can we watch that? Or am I going to get claimed? I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can watch it. But that is an interesting story. I have a bird. Like, okay. I mean, I've been shat on by birds before too. That's not really like that's just an unlucky, unpleasant situation.
I mean, chat, can we say? I mean, I'm curious what they think. would you consider a bird pooping on you? Is that a bird attack in some way? Would you classify it as a bird attack?
If it's repeated, I would classify it as an attack. But if it's like a one-on incident, then not really, because the bird attacks I'm talking about, because I've seen it. Like I've seen.
How do
a
you
bird
know?
attack.
Like if it was an intentional pooping, okay, that's what I'm saying. If it was an intentional pooping, then I think you can
I
make
don't
the
know.
argument that that bird was levying a form of an attack against you, and it was very stealth.
I don't know. I don't know how you could tell. That's
That's the
true.
thing. You couldn't. You'd
If
have
there's
to
malice behind it, like
get
if
them
there's
on the
malice behind
stand,
the poop.
ask them, question them. Was this a malicious attack, or were you just randomly doing your business as you flew along? I really think, though, I wouldn't be surprised if birds actually did it on purpose, though. Like if you were a bird and you had the opportunity to, just hit random passerbys, I guess depending on the bird you are, that would have a lot to do with it. But if you had that opportunity to do that and knowing that you would be able to just get away scot-free, I have to think there are just some evil birds out there. I have to think that there are some birds that are having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think so. Depending on your personality as a bird, I think you're right. I've seen weird shit like that though, where, for example, okay, we were in Italy with my husband. This was many years ago, and we went to Venice, and they have so many pigeons in Venice. They're every fucking where. They're like the rats of the sky, but they're just everywhere. But they're kind of pretty because they're like, they're all over the place, and they're not the ugly gray ones. They're like kind of like the white mixed whatever, like the weird cool looking ones. They have like white and brown feathers and stuff like that. So they were like all over the place, and like all these people were just kind of like feeding them or like hanging out, like taking pictures of like all these birds everywhere. And my husband accidentally stepped on one.
Ooh.
And boy, oh boy, like that's when the bird attacks begin, because I literally, like, they were dive bombing him. Like they were like literally like they were like, you stepped on our cousin.
Oh,
like,
wow.
and they were like dive bombing him, and he's like trying to get him off of him and stuff. And I was like, I was just standing there laughing my ass off, and I was like, serves you right for kicking that pigeon, because I told him not to kick it and to be careful around the birds.
Wait, did he kick it or did he step on it accidentally?
I think he kicked it on purpose. But he claims to this day that it was an accident, but I think he kicked it. So I don't know. I'm sticking to that story, so that the birds wanted revenge and they got their revenge. We had to leave. It was it was the whole thing.
That's funny.
I did not. Also, Russell Hall, thank you for the $5, says, if it makes you feel better, Orange Hulk is grabbing the Invisible Girl's pussy like a boss. You have to use your imagination. Okay. All right. Seems more like you now, Russell Hall. Okay. I can accept that.
Tryptophan? Is that what it's called?
Tryptophan.
Tryptophan.
Tryptophan. That's what it's called.
It's an essential amino acid that the body needs to obtain from food because it can't produce it on its own. Amino acids needed for growth. I don't. So wait, is this the thing that actually makes you tired? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, supposedly that's what they say. I don't know. Did
Mythbusters proved it wrong?
Oh, really?
Or wait, no. Is that the argument?
I don't know. We're wondering that. What did they say, that it's true, or did they say it's false? Because that's the thing that apparently makes you sleepy. Russell Hall for 2 says the pinky is in her butt. Thank you, Russell. I don't know what to say.
So this article says Mythbusters turkey doesn't really make you sleepy. The myth stems from the fact that turkey contains tryptophan, an amino acid essential for producing serotonin, which regulates mood and can induce sleepiness.
Serotonin is the happy drug.
Which regulates mood, but it says "and can induce sleepiness. So yeah,
So maybe.
well, turkey contains this tryptophan, and they're saying that turkey doesn't make you sleepy. At least that's the headline of the article. But from what I'm reading here, it contains something that does make you sleepy. So what?
So what the
What is
frig?
it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So which is it? I don't understand. Well,
I
I
guess
think
it says it can induce sleepiness.
it can, but also I think what DL was saying earlier is also true, which is that all the freaking carbs you're eating with the turkey probably doesn't help because the carbs
Absolutely
do
not.
make you heavy
Yeah,
and
that's true.
sleepy. Okay. Well, let's talk about another turkey. Sharon Stone is in the news. She got turkey neck now. That's why I called her turkey. Sharon Stone says ignorant and uneducated Americans to blame for Trump being reelected. Those are some harsh words there.
Yeah.
The actress had some strong words about Americans when discussing politics and tour and film festival. Let's see. Is there a video of this? I want to see her. Oh, no, there's no video. Okay, so Sharon Stone tackled the re-election of Donald Trump with some harsh words in Italy, saying what was it on the panel? Jolie was okay. So what did she say? Okay, Italy has seen fascism. She said, "Oh God, are we going to go there?" According to the Guardian, Italy has seen these things. You guys, you understand what happens. You've seen this before. My country is in adolescence. Adolescence is very arrogant. Adolescence thinks it knows everything. Adolescence is naive and ignorant and arrogant. And
Man,
we
the
are
projection is strong. Sorry.
oh my God.
Just
Dude,
flip. She could just flip it right back on
I
her.
know.
Like if she just thought, do these things apply to me? Might I sound like these things?
Any of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny because she sounds like one of those like she's in Rome or whatever, like she's in Italy. It's like when in Rome, she's like, these plebs, all these plebs are so ignorant
She's
and
got her
so adolescents.
chin up like
Dude,
Mussolini, like off the balcony,
yeah. Jeez. And we're an ignorant, arrogant adolescents. So Americans who don't travel, who 80% don't have a passport, who are uneducated, are in their extraordinary naivete. What I would say is that the only way that we can help with these issues is to help each other by hating like basically your entire country. Like, how are you gonna help each
Yeah. It's interesting that she would say that, like, traveling doesn't necessarily bring about like a great historical knowledge. When people travel, it's not like they learn, a lot of history. They
Well,
see
I mean,
sights and
you do learn like about different cultures and stuff. Like I disagree in that sense because I think traveling teaches you a lot about
sure.
humanity in different cultures and like, what people's lives are like when you're like walking in a mile in somebody else's shoes.
No,
Like
that's
that's but
yeah. I
I
don't
don't
I definitely don't disagree with you. But the idea that you need a passport to be intelligent or that you need to travel to have an understanding of history, I think that's more what I'm saying is
yeah,
like it's
that doesn't make sense because you're like, okay, well, you're not gonna get book learning from like just traveling somewhere, like if you're gonna like I don't know about history, somebody could be like a what's it called, Civil War buff and have never left the country before, or like they can be a
never visited Gettysburg, but they could
yeah.
they could have a pretty extensive knowledge of it. And yeah, and I agree with you though. Like definitely traveling does like you do learn some things traveling. And
Mhm.
there are some things that you just have to experience. Like seeing a picture in a book, it's not going to add up to the experience of going to the Sistine Chapel or
Mhm.
whatever. But yeah, but in terms of what she's saying, it's like what? So people have to have money to be to really or have a passport to be educated.
Essentially, yes. Like essentially that's what she's saying cuz she's like, you know, Um, because that's the other thing. Like, it costs a lot of money to travel these days. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like you can just be like, oh, okay, like, I'm taking off
Yeah, it's
in
not
the
getting any cheaper either.
It's not getting any cheaper, especially when you have a family, like, and you have you're not single. Like, if you have a family and you're, supporting like your wife and your kid, like, depending on how many kids you have, like, traveling is not the easiest thing to do, especially if you're not single. You have there's so much expenses. So I don't know. I just feel like this is like I'm talking to you from like the upper
My ivory
echelon.
tower of
Yeah, the ivory tower, like, you plebs, like, the freaking get learned. I respect the results of the vote. I don't think you do. No, I don't think you do, lady. I think you're pretty pissed off about it. Even if I don't like the president, I respect his role. This is a democracy. But you just started by calling it fascist. Why is my computer doing that? Um, I don't know what will happen in the future. I'm not a fortune teller. Okay. I don't even know if there will be an authoritarian turn. You started out by saying Italy knows fascism. What the fuck? There are 200 people in the government who have to convince 200 million people in society. It won't all happen in an instant. Speaking about reasons of the defeat of the Democrat candidate, Kamala Harris, Stone said, "Did we really get to know her in just 3 months and with just one TV debate? Was she the right person? I can't say."
even she wasn't sold as much as she hates Donald Trump. That's pretty funny because like
That's
even
terrible.
Sharon Stone, she's like, yeah, even as bad as Donald Trump is, I still wasn't really sold on Kamala. Like she
Yeah, like,
what an insult.
who was she?
Yeah,
Like,
what an like how Kamala Harris, I mean, the video that we're going to be watching, I think will say a lot, but I think that this is a very Hillary Clinton was she's kind of a tough broad. Like
mhm.
there's definitely probably no Hillary Clinton fans here, and I'm certainly not one, but she's a tough cookie.
What are
You
you
know that
talking about? I love Hillary. I mean, never mind.
but say what you will, like Hillary Clinton, she's made of a different cloth than Kamala Harris, a little bit more thicker and durable one.
Mhm,
And I think that this loss was especially Kamala's probably looking at the social media and everything. And when you read a comment like that, you're reading a comment like that from a celebrity, a liberal celebrity, and she still says, was she the right person? I can't say. Like, that's gotta sting for
That
Kamala Harris.
that's
Just
why she's
right.
getting drunk, because everybody's saying this kinda shit. Um, I can't say as if she would ever enter politics herself. She's like, "Me? Oh, Jesus, no." I mean, she's the right age, though. She could if she wanted to.
Yeah.
She definitely, wait, how old is she now?
She might be in her 60s. Like, that's probably very possible.
She's 66 years old. Wait, how old is what's her face?
Kamala Harris?
No, the old bitch from
Pelosi?
California. Yeah, Nancy
She's
Pelosi.
gotta be in her 80s, or she's gotta be around
Nancy,
80.
she's 84.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Sharon, you're only 66, girl. You can run if you wanted to. Like, you're fine. Um, Stone's viral comments follow Alec Baldwin making some similar remarks. Alec Baldwin, shut the fuck up. Wait, what did he say? At a festival a few days earlier, Baldwin was at the Turn Film Festival, blah, blah, blah. You know what's going on from the news, but Information America is driven by money. He said it's a business. That's why there's a void in information on the biggest issue in the world. What? There's a void in information.
On the
Not
biggest
since
issues in the world, he said?
not since Elon bought Twitter. There isn't.
Yeah.
um, the mainstream media are kind of falling behind now. Americans know little or nothing on climate change. Oh God, on Ukraine. That void is filled in part by the film industry, by documentaries and narrative films.
I know we
Alec
spent around
Baldwin.
200, what? 200, how much is it? 200 billion? I can't even remember the number. It's some astronomical amount we've spent on Ukraine.
It's some crazy number. Yeah, I don't even know. Isn't it like it's in the trillions now, isn't it? I mean, it's pretty fucking crazy. Alec Baldwin says Americans know little or know nothing about the world. Oh, so he basically said the same thing as Sharon. Here's the article headline for that. Um, did you see what else he said recently about like Rust, the movie that
No, what do
he
you say?
killed a woman on? Like, he okay, hold on. Let me see if I can pull that up because I was like, the fuck? Like,
I,
shut up.
I
You killed
cannot
somebody.
I cannot even imagine the amount of trauma you like that whole scenario, accidentally killing
Hmm.
somebody on a movie set, and you think you're just joking around. I just can't even possibly imagine going through something like that. It's one thing to, let's say you shoot somebody because you're defending your property or your home or whatever. I mean, sure, there's going to be a certain level of probably trauma afterwards, but you feel justified in the fact that, you're protecting your family.
Yeah.
There's not really a
It's
choice there.
self-defense.
Yeah. But to actually kill a colleague, to kill a friend, to kill somebody you worked with over something
I
so
still
frivolous.
don't know if deep down inside, like, he didn't do it on purpose. Like, I don't know if I don't know. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Wait,
I mean,
did he
that's
really, like, dislike her?" Like, I don't know. By the way, Tomby, thank you for the raid. I see you in the chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And this is what Alec had to say about the Rust shooting because apparently it wrapped up.
he
So
actually
it says,
finished shooting the film.
yeah, no
That's
pun
crazy.
intended. uh, he said, "I'm happy that Rust got completed. It's been such a tragedy, which of course we would do anything to undo. But we arrived to the reshoot and it was a better film in a lot of ways, other than Helena. But for now, I want all things Rust to just leave my windshield so that I can go and do other things and be a father to my children." Dude, the way he said that, like, we arrived and it was like better than the first film. I mean, other than Helena. Like, it's just so dismissive. Like, it's like,
Absolutely
what?
dismissive. Like, how do you even I just don't even know how you can show up and shoot the film, like film the rest of the movie after that. I just
It's so inappropriate.
I don't even know. Like,
I
can you imagine somebody's gonna be doing skits on this, or there's gonna be some comedy routine where somebody is like, when Alec Baldwin shows back on the set and the guy is like, he's carrying one of the prop guns and just everybody is absolutely terrified on that set. Like they're just moving, he's just swinging it around and just like the cameraman, you see like the
yeah.
camera. Here's an idea, guys. I'm giving this one away for free. Whoever's a cinematographer, you see the camera, like he points the gun at the camera and then you see the camera like turn this way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like everybody
Everyone's like,
everybody on set is just paranoid of,
yeah.
because I mean, that would be traumatizing for everybody on set too, to see, to experience that whole thing. I mean, that is
I would
I
be like, I mean, I don't
insane.
know how people went back to work on there. I'd be like, I'm not coming back into work on this. Like, I quit. I would probably quit if I was
I'm sure
somebody
some
involved.
people did, or maybe some people really need the money, but I don't know, man. That is like a heavy. Just the thought of it for me is just like that would be such a heavy thing to carry.
Yeah, and it's just like the way he says it too. Like, we arrived to reshoot, and it was better. It's a better film in a lot of
How can
ways,
you even
other
like?
than
How can
Helena.
you even say that? Like,
The way he says other than
yeah,
Helena is like as if he's talking about like some coworker that like just like something that happened, like bad lunch or something like that. You
right,
had like something
right,
so insignificant. Like, you
right.
killed a person. Like,
Yeah,
what?
like as if like you got in a tiff with somebody and you parted ways.
Hmm.
That's how it sounds like if you said it in that fashion. Like, let's say he was working with somebody and there was some tension on set, or there was a fight, continual fighting, and they just broke apart. If you
Hmm.
say something like that, that's understandable. Like, other than Joe Schmo or whatever. But like he he killed her. Like,
He literally killed a person.
yeah, how
It's
like
crazy.
other than yeah, it's
Other than like, little murder on the set. Yeah. Everything's fine.
yeah.
It's better now. It's better now that she's gone.
Man, I don't know.
Fucking
Like,
nuts.
well, it's like OJ, or it's people might be free, but are they really ever free? Like, there's I don't think you could just do something like that and have it not affect you.
If you have a conscience. If you don't have a conscience, then you're probably like, whatever. Like, kind of like Alec Baldwin is right now. It just
Yeah,
seems like he doesn't have one. That's the thing.
but
Like, it's his interview too. Like, remember the very first interview before his trial where like CNN, I think it was CNN, or was it 60 Minutes? It was something like he went there and like everybody was like, what is this interview? Because he seemed so like didn't give a fuck. Like he didn't seem remorseful at all. Like
mhm,
that was like that's what it comes off exactly, Russell, like a genuine psychopath. Like that's what it comes
yeah.
off as. Is like he's just like a genuine psychopath that like has no remorse, no empathy, no shame. None of those things are like make up Alec Baldwin.
When
Real
you
quick, I'm gonna get this Rumble rant on because it's on topic from Sharon Stone. Zerksmorks for 2. Here, let me share my screen.
I was just gonna say really quickly though,
Go
like
ahead.
I think being a psychopath or being like having that level of detachment from like real human empathy or emotion or connecting with people, like that's the prison in a sense. Like a person like that is that if they're that far gone, they can't really probably have true like true connection
Connection.
with
Yeah.
people like that's kind of probably the isolating thing about it that I could be a prison unto itself.
In
But
a way, yeah, but and also in a way, no. It's like American Psycho. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. They don't
oh
think
yeah,
like that because they think differently than we do. You're
they don't.
projecting
No,
that onto them.
no, they don't realize what they're missing because they don't have it anymore. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like that's kind of the thing where they're the place that they're in. Like if the darkness, in a sense, becomes normal. Let's say
mm,
you get to a place where that becomes the case. Let's say there's like varying degrees of light and darkness, but you go into such a dark place where darkness is your normal. And
mhm,
let's say you project your idea of yourself upon everybody else. So,
mhm,
if somebody is a terrible um somebody like that, then you think and you project that you think everybody is like you.
yeah,
And that's
mhm,
kind of the thing that you have to probably, and not to mention, he also probably like OJ, where anywhere you would go, everybody knew who you were, knew the circumstances, knew everything about it.
mhm.
And, I have to imagine that would be not such a fun scenario to live in
I
either.
mean, it happened to him too. That was another video that was released. Remember when like some chick was following him and was like, "You shot
Oh,
her,
yeah.
you fucking asshole!" And he
Yeah.
was like, he got mad and he was like, he kind of attacked her. But I mean, to be fair, he was being harassed. Like and people shouldn't do that either. Like it's not.
Sure.
I don't think
Well,
people should
they
be
might get
harassed.
shot if you're following Alec
I know,
Baldwin.
calling Alec
Like,
Baldwin. Watch out.
if he's done it, you never know if there's a gun
He
nearby.
might snap. You might be his next victim. Zerksmorks, thanks for the $2. Says all this from S. Stone, who is best known for the beaver shot in Basic Instinct, who gives two flying fucks what she thinks. I mean, that's true. What is Sharon Stone best known for? I think that is probably the thing that she is known best for. Is
She
that
won an Oscar for Casino, but yeah, I would say you're right. That's her more iconic moment that she's known for.
she won an Oscar for Casino?
I'm pretty sure. Supporting actress, I think.
Oh wow.
She was good in it.
She was great in it. I love Casino. I absolutely love that movie. But I forgot that she won the Oscar for it. Russell Halford too says it's not booze, it's hard drugs. What are we talking about here, Russell? Alec Baldwin? Also for 2 says, honestly, he's not a psychopath. He's a narcissist. Well, there's different types of narcissists, right? You have like the cluster A, cluster B, and then you have like certain ones that like basically are crossing over to like schizophrenia. There's different levels of narcissism. Excuse me. I think he's a very high level narcissist, if not a full on psychopath or sociopath or whatever. Anyway, either way, he's without a conscience. I think he has no conscience. That's my theory.
Yeah, no, I mean it's very possible. I mean,
quite a performance. Wait, do you mean like the Max? Do you mean like the the crossing leg or the casino performance? Because
I think it's the first. If I had to guess,
I would think so. Okay, let's move to Kakala. We have things. Oh, you were talking about Casino.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm surprised Trump never broke out that nickname, Kakala.
I am too. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oh no, wait, this is not the one because this is the one that she's being made fun of. Hold on. I got the full interview up here from Benny Johnson's Twitter. Full video of Kamala Harris addresses supporters 3 weeks after humiliating loss to Donald Trump. And it painfully cringe 10-minute rant. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, I can't believe it starts like this. We haven't even started it. Oh no.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Back at you, brother. You are such an extraordinary leader, and we have become lifelong friends. I just, in front of everyone, I want to thank you, Tim. You lead.
Am I right here? Did she puff in the Magic Dragon before this interview? Does she look high to you?
She looks high and drunk. She looks fucked up. She's like, listen, John, listen, John. Thank you so much for like being part of Infinite Talk, because like you're just John, you're just the best. Like,
do the laugh, Nina. Do the laugh.
John, listen. We were gonna win it though, we were gonna win it. Okay, we haven't even started. Oh my God. Okay, we can do this. We can get through this 9 minutes.
With courage, you lead with heart. You see the people, you care about the people. You believe in uplifting the dignity to which all people are entitled, and you do it and you have a sense of fun when you're doing it. But you are an extraordinary leader, and obviously the people of Minnesota are very, very lucky to have you there. But you are a national leader and a dear friend, and thank you. Noel, thank you for your work in Pennsylvania and all that you did for our campaign. And let me just say to everyone on this call, I am so grateful for you, and I'm so thankful to you. I'm thankful for your love of our country and your willingness to put the work into it. I'm thankful for the faith that you put in me and Governor Walz and our team. And I am thankful because I know your character is such that you're not going to get knocked down.
She looks fucked up.
And you're in this fight.
I think her posture isn't helping anything either. Because she is kind of like, I know I've definitely got this habit, but she appears to be hunched hunched over. Yeah.
She's like this.
And that's probably not like a good visual communication either. She's sitting down. She'd probably be better off standing up. in my opinion. If I was one of her
Are you
advisors,
sure, dude? Are you kidding? She's
yeah,
so drunk that if she stood up, she'd be
that might
like,
be why she's sitting. That might
is
be why
exactly
she's
what-
sitting. But I was gonna say, what was I going to say? I'm like,
This is so bad.
okay, this is what I was gonna say. By the way, how many days is this after the election?
He says 10 days, right? On the beginning. 10 what does this say?
If this
3 weeks.
this video just came out, right?
It's 3 weeks
Yeah,
after the
3
election.
weeks after the election. So why did it take 3 weeks for this video to come out? Like, this is a video that should come out within the week after the election. She was on vacation though. She
was on a bender. That's why.
I really do think that, Trump, even though he's older, his work ethic, like he just mopped the floor with Kamala, even though he's like nearly 20 years older. You could just tell, like, his energy, like, she was not used to this much traveling. That's why she even I think she did her Call Her Daddy podcast in a hotel room that, the set cost 100 G's.
I never saw that interview. Did you watch it?
I never watched it. No.
You know what I think is really funny, and I think this is what happened, is you remember, like, when she did her first debate with Donald Trump and everybody was like, oh my God, like, we've won the election. Like, well, the Democrats were like, we won. She's amazing. She put Donald Trump in his place, like all this stuff. I think that was the first time she was sober. Like, I think they were like, you need to be sober for this fucking debate. And she was like, okay. And then after she won the debate and everybody was like freaking out about how great she was, she went and got drunk as fuck. And she was like, listen, Tim, we got this one, baby. I won this shit with one debate. It's over. And then she like started drinking again and not making any sense and not making any appearances. I think one of her biggest mistake was not to go on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you want to say about Joe, I think he would have given her a fair shot.
Absolutely.
I think he would have. And she needed his base. Like, she needed those voters, like the young men that could possibly, maybe the ones that were like, okay, I'm still like wondering. But I don't know, man. She
should have. Even though it's a somewhat risky thing, but at the end of the day, you're really not losing anything. Trump went on Rogan. Now it's your turn. Yeah. You got to fight for that. I mean, initially I was a little bit mad at Trump for not debating her the second time, because I thought, like, it's playoffs. To turn that down, it's like, no, you gotta make your point. You got to prove to the American people your case. And so I was a little bit in the initial stages after he did that. I was like, oh man, that feels like such a weak move. But I think obviously you can't argue with the results.
I wasn't. You know why? Because I actually thought it was more of a power move not to go to another debate with her, only because it was so unfair.
No, that's a good point.
He said himself that he's willing to debate her again on X. Like, he was going to debate her on Twitter, X, whatever the fuck it's called. He's going to, like, he's like, I'll do it if we have, like, actual moderators that are going to check both of us, like.
No, and that's a good argument. Like, I do agree with him on that. He was willing to do it if there was going to be a fairness to it. I think that debate actually played, though, to some extent in his favor, when people saw firsthand that they were being unfair to Trump and definitely being a lot kinder to Kamala. So
no fact checks.
Yeah.
At all. Okay, let's keep going.
Reasons. And I know that about you. It's why you're part of this call right now, and
oh no.
All the work that you did over those 107 days and even before. That's your nature. And
and actually on that topic too, that was the other thing that really hurt her, was Tim Walz Nobody
Yeah.
liked Tim Walz. Like nobody. Everybody was like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
It's like Tim Kaine. You remember Tim Kaine, who was Hillary's VP?
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I don't remember. Actually, I'm gonna look him up right now because
He
I
looks
don't
a lot
remember.
like Tim Walz, actually. They could be brothers, but
Like, I don't remember what he looks like at all. Oh my god, this guy! Yeah, he was terrible.
she should have went with Bernie. If Hillary Clinton picked Bernie Sanders as
Mm-hmm.
her VP, I
Mm-hmm.
think she might have edged out Trump. I
Yeah,
think
I agree. I
because
think the
Bernie had
Bernie
the
thing
young,
really hurt her.
yeah. But instead, she didn't want to pick a VP. She was afraid Bernie's going to overshadow me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like her ego got in the way of winning the election.
Mm-hmm.
Instead,
Yeah.
she picks some nobody. And not that Tim Kaine, not calling him a nobody, but the fact is nobody knew who the guy was.
I've totally
Same case
forgotten
with
him.
Kamala. Yeah.
Completely.
It's funny
I'm
because
really hoping that happens with Kamala. Like I'm like in however many years, 8 years you asked me, do you remember like Kamala Harris? And I'd be like, who? Like
no, she's memorable though.
that is
Like
true.
that's the thing. Like for not the reason she wants to be, but you remember Kamala Harris for stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with like Sarah Palin. Like I still remember Sarah Palin, and she had some funny moments too, Sarah. Russell Hall for 2 says Kamala Harris is a drug addict. Well, she sure seems that way in this.
Something going
clip.
on there.
You know, her asshole is the size of a dinner plate. Ew, Russell, Jesus.
Pretty graphic.
What the
Very
fuck?
graphic.
Outcome of this election,
You
obviously,
read that
is
one
not
for
what
free,
we wanted. It is
Nina?
not what we worked so hard for. But I am proud of the race we ran. And your role in this was critical. What we did in 107 days was unprecedented.
Was it?
Think about the coalition that we built, and we were so intentional about that.
Dude,
You
the
would hear
body
me
language. Think about the coalition that we built. And you were like so part of that, guys. Like the coalition.
The crazy thing is, this is like almost nearly, it's 3 weeks after the election. She seems tired. She seems, I know she's obviously,
or is that drunkenness?
right. Either way, it's not a good look. It's just not a good look. Like you look utterly decimated and defeated. And we're
Defeated,
3 weeks after the fact.
Wow.
Look fatigued.
Stoned.
talk about it all the time. Being a daughter of parents who are active in the civil rights movement, I know and believe that the best movements that are about progress in our country.
Wait, what? What did she just say?
About it all the time. Being a daughter of parents who are active in the civil rights movement.
Being the daughter of parents who are active in the civil rights movement? How old is she? Like
She's 60. I believe.
So her parents were in the civil rights movement? I mean, does that make sense?
They could have been. Yeah, I mean, it's very possible.
all
She's
right.
60.
Let's go with it.
Are you thinking it's a Joe Biden? Joe Biden marched in the civil rights?
Yeah, like I'm like, what? Like, how old are you? Like, your parents like marched with MLK? Like, what are we talking about here? What's up, Legal Vices? How you doing, man?
That are about progress in our country mean that it's leaders that we are dedicated to the coalition, to bringing people together that seemingly have nothing in common, but have everything in common. A coalition where we bring people together based on a deep love of our country and our understanding that the strength of our country will be a function of our willingness to put in the work, and that we will do that work with a sense of joy, yes, with a sense of work ethic and understanding it's going to be hard, but it's good work. It's good work. To be in.
That's what I call a 5 o'clock drink. Give me another joy, okay? Another joy on the house. Joy for everybody.
Engaged in a collective fight for America's future. And it means so much to me and to Governor Walz that you knocked on doors, you called friends, you called in favors. You said, hey, I showed up at your softball game. Now I need you to show up at the campaign office. You put in the time. It was personal for you. And you gave all that you could to support our campaign. Because of your efforts, get this, we raised an historic $1.4 billion, almost $1.5 billion.
Are they still
from
$20 million
grassroots
in debt?
supporters.
I think so. Isn't Trump paying your debt? Girl.
I don't know if he's actually going to do it, or I don't know if it was just a troll. I
mean,
haven't
that's
heard
funny.
anything about it. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about it either. But yeah, they were in debt. She's in debt.
We raised all this, listen to what you say. We raised all this money, $1.4 trillion, and we somehow still managed to be irresponsible and be $20 million in debt.
we still managed to lose it. So it's gone, okay?
By the end of the video. So if any of you can donate, you got a little extra money.
We got a little GoFundMe going. Me and Timmy here. It's GoFundMe. Donate now to the Kamala Drink Fund. It's called Joy.
How sad is this, by the way?
Campaign.
That they raised that much money and she still lost pretty big.
God. I mean, it's so crazy because if you really think about it, she had everybody, all the press, everybody was behind her.
A lot of athletes.
Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, basically the majority of celebrities, press, all of them, all the mainstream. I mean, Donald Trump had a couple celebrities here and there. We had Stallone, Kid Rock, just a couple celebrities here and there that endorsed him, like Dennis Quaid, the old school guys,
Yeah.
And then she had some of the biggest pop stars on earth, like Taylor Swift, Beyonce, you go Cardi B.
Who didn't perform. Cardi B, Cardi didn't perform either. Megan Thee Stallion, I think, is one of the only ones that perform. Oh, Bruce
she danced,
Springsteen.
Didn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if she sang, but she danced.
She sang. I mean, I don't know if you would call it, I don't know if our audience would qualify it as singing, but she definitely
twerked. Yeah. She
twerked for Harris.
Wait, did Kamala twerk with her? Were they
No.
that would have won her some votes. If she had started twerking a little bit, she would have probably got some of the black votes.
Would have won some votes and lost even more probably. But she had Beyonce, and Beyonce didn't sing or perform.
No.
Cardi B. How do you have these musicians and they don't even perform?
With Taylor Swift. I mean, Taylor Swift is the biggest one because she's the biggest.
Did she speak at a rally?
On earth. No,
she tossed her hat.
She just was I support Kamala, whatever. But she's one of the biggest pop stars on earth, millions of people,
Oh yeah,
love her.
Yeah.
It was disappointing that Taylor Swift decided to go political, but hey, didn't help. It didn't help.
In history. Nearly 8 million donors contributed an average donation of about $56 to fuel our people-powered campaign. And understand that the work that we did included the work that so many of you here did, which is to talk to first-time voters. Many of you are first-time voters. And to talk about how being involved can make a difference. And that remains true. And that's one of the pieces that I just want us to please take away, that our fight for freedom and for opportunity and for the promise of America, it included, for example, almost 4 million first-time contributors to our campaign because of the work you did of helping people know that they can be engaged and that they're not outside, that they're inside, that we're all in this together. And that work continues. The work must continue. of reminding
Wait. Did
ourselves
she
that
say
The work must
the work
continues.
must continues? Oh no. It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
we have an ability to stay engaged in a way that will make a difference. The work that you all did, it's going to have lasting effect.
Oh, yes, it will.
Wait, I'm confused. Like,
Again,
do you
I'll-
think she's got a teleprompter? Like, or do you think she's freestyling?
I'd like to think for a speech this long, I just don't think she's freewheeling it. I don't know if, I mean, that's a pretty difficult thing to do, is just to go off the cuff and making sure you're hitting all of your points. As anybody on YouTube will know, you know, like, especially if she's got specific people she wants to thank and things she wants to go through. But maybe, I don't know, maybe she has an outline, but I would think that she's got a teleprompter and maybe
I think
she's
it might be
loosely going
both.
off of it.
Yeah, because I like when being this drunk, I don't think you could read it. Like, because there's like the words are coming pretty fast. Like, she backtrack.
I don't think
I
she's
say
that. I
again?
don't think she's that drunk. I don't think she's that hammered. But she's
Maybe that's true.
definitely under the influence. I
She's
mean,
something.
from my observation, she doesn't look completely sober. I know. At least I think I know that much.
She's not sober. There's no way.
say, the election didn't turn out like we want to have an outside, that they're
Sorry,
inside, that we're all in this together. And that work continues. The work must continues of
Why is
reminding
it
ourselves that we have
I'm like, I don't
Damn
know.
it,
If she's-
Twitter.
ability to stay engaged in a way that will make a difference. The work that you all did, it's going to have lasting effect. Again, I'll say, the election didn't turn out like we wanted it to. Certainly not as we planned for it to.
This didn't
But
work out.
understand that the work we put into it was about empowering people. That's the spirit with the work we did. Our spirit and our work was about saying that it is a strength that we each have to lift people up, as opposed to beating people down. It is a strength we have that has lasting effect. So all that.
Bitch, what are you talking about? All you did was beat people down by telling them that they're voting for a Nazi fascist. Like, literally, all they did was like, if you vote for Donald Trump, I tell you, you're basically a Nazi. Like, all of you fuckers are Nazis. I hate you guys. But that's basically what she did the entire election. Like, she had nothing. Like, she had nothing else other than you're fascist. This, that, fascism, Nazi. I mean, remember the fucking Fox News thing? They just kept bringing it back to Trump and how he's fascist, like answering none of the questions.
Yeah,
dude.
She needed to have a real, like, nothing. She didn't really have anything to say of substance. All the things even that she's saying now, there's not really a whole lot of meat on the bones. It's just fluff, a lot of fluff there.
Mhm.
And you compare it to Trump, and Trump at least he painted a picture and a vision of where he wanted to take the country. His message was pretty clear in terms of the things that he wanted to do. Whereas Kamala is just a lot of fluff. And I think a lot of people didn't really know what they were going to get with her. And she did not make a compelling case for the presidency.
Apparently, Sharon Stone didn't know what the fuck she was going to get with her. Nobody knew her. Everyone's like, who the fuck is this bitch?
And it's not even a problem that they didn't know her. I think the media might have overemphasized the whole idea of getting to know her, because at the end of the day, yeah, right. At the end of the day, people want to know what you're going to do and do for them. And what you're going to do says a lot. That says everything about you, versus, like, nobody cares about who Kamala Harris is as a person and personality. Like, nobody, any politician for that matter. Like, how many politicians are followed because of their persona and personality? Like, even if Trump was just complete persona, but he never talked about what he wanted to do. he would have never gotten voted in 2016. Ultimately, people
Mm-mm.
want to know, what do you plan on doing? What is your plan? What is your vision?
Mm-hmm.
And that will inform me as to, I don't care if you like Tupac, or, if you
Oh yeah, that's right. She
dance
said
or
she liked
whatever.
Tupac.
Yeah, all this, no, but like maybe adolescent, or if you like Taylor Swift, maybe adolescent teenagers care about these kind of non-issues. But at the end of the day, the average American person is wanting somebody that's going to be fighting for them and making things more affordable. It's going to be the
Mhm.
economy. In this case, it's immigration, et cetera, et cetera.
Immigration. And the one that was kind of like no one saw coming was the trans issue.
Yeah.
That was big. I
Yep.
mean, a lot of people, like a lot of the analysts and stuff like that, they didn't think that was going to be as big of an issue as it was. But man, a lot of people are pissed. Like they're sick and tired of these agendas that the Democrats have been pushing. Pierce Morgan talks about that all the time, like how the Democrats are constantly talking about. I mean, she made abortion her entire platform. Like she was like, I'm fighting for women's rights, women's reproductive rights are on the ballot, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, over and over you're hearing about that. And then out of one breath, she's saying all the stuff about women. Out of the other breath, she's saying, anybody can transition at 12 years old. Like,
Yeah.
or like, the inmate thing and all that stuff that Donald Trump would bring up. And I mean, he's already brought up that like when he gets into office, he's gonna like kick those kind of people out of the army. Like, I mean, that's the kind of thing that I think that the Americans wanted. That they're like,
Yeah.
we're done. We're done with this kind of like very far left ideology that's seeped in. We need to try something else.
Absolutely.
Work that you did that was about engaging with other people, engaging with perfect strangers, and in their face seeing a neighbor. That has lasting effect.
Fluff.
It reminds people
It's
that
got
there are leaders
lasting
like
effects,
you
you know.
who care and will bring us together. And sometimes in the darkest moments, people lose faith in that. Are there people out there that feel that way? And you reminded people that yes, there are. And there are a lot of us. And that strength cannot be taken from us.
The second of
That
the
is
drink,
our strength.
guys.
It cannot be taken from us.
Just wait for it to hiccup.
So,
I know, right?
Listen, as I said the day after the election, I still strongly believe the light of America's promise will burn bright as long as we never give up and we keep fighting. And the fight that fueled our campaign, a fight for freedom and opportunity, that did not end on November 5th. A fight for the dignity of all people, that did not end on November 5th. A fight for the future, a future in which all people receive the promise of America?
What?
No. A fight that is about a fight for the ideals of our nation, the ideals that reflect the promise of America. That fight's not over. So look, we still have a lot to fight for, okay? A future where every American can pursue their dreams, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have a right to make decisions about their own body, not their government telling
No,
them
my
what to
God.
do.
Look, she's already
fight
bringing
for
up the fucking abortion thing, bitch. Didn't work. It didn't work.
Rule of law, for freedom for all, for equal justice, for the sacred principle that everyone, no matter where they start out, has certain fundamental rights and freedoms that must be upheld.
They still do, though.
That's not over.
Yeah, it's not
That
like
fight's still in us, and it burns strong.
It never
And I
went.
know this is an uncertain time. I'm clear-eyed about that. I know
You're clear-eyed about that?
And it feels heavy.
she's like dropping by.
Bro, you can't even like keep your eye open. I'm clear-eyed about that, okay? We're gonna get some rights back.
She's like,
soon, guys.
And I just have to remind you, don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. And you have the same ability to engage and inspire. So don't ever let anybody or any circumstance take your power from you.
I'm a little confused. Who is she talking to? Is she talking to the American people
Freeze
or is she
frame.
talking to Tim Walz? Like who is she talking
Talking to the
exactly?
American people.
Okay.
Yeah. But
All right.
chat, what's Kamala's charisma level on a scale of 0 to 10 or 1 to 10?
-10? Like holy shit, this is bad.
You remember when and I think charisma is one of those things where just some people, you know, I used to want to believe like, oh, it's kind of just an even playing field and everybody can, you know, but it does seem to turn out that some people are just more gifted. They have the gift of charisma, and others really have to work at it. And anytime she would try to give like an inspiring speech, it just came off so inauthentic. Like it almost had the exact opposite effect that you would like from like those Martin Luther King moments.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the antithesis of that. You remember when they started chanting Kamala?
No, when?
I forgot which speech. It was like probably a week before the election, but they started chanting Kamala, Kamala. And she literally stops the entire thing. And she's like, now I want you to stop and start saying your own name. And it just went like radio silent. She totally killed any momentum and any energy that was in that rally. It was absolutely gone. Like she just completely snuffed it out. I'll pull up the clip.
I never seen that. I've never
Pretty
seen that
funny.
one. Yeah, definitely pull it up. Russell Hall for 2 says, "Don't ever let them take power away from you, Donald Trump." Listen, Donald, don't you dare let the power take. Don't take the power. Don't let them take the power from you, Donald Trump. Donald, the Don Trump. She's so drunk. Okay, I'm gonna play this while you
look. This mission that we have, it takes hard work. But as you've heard me say many times, we like hard work. Hard work is good work. Hard work can be joyful work. And in doing our work, we will remain committed and intentional about building community, building coalitions, reminding
build a
people that we
commune.
all have so much more in common than what separates us. We will be armed with the faith and the fuel that tells us what is possible and then drives us to achieve it. So
remember when she was like, when her husband was like, yeah, Kamala is like really good at doing hard work on her knees or something like that. What did he say? He said something like,
she put her head down and she got to work.
She put her head down and went to
That's
work. That's right.
Work. Yeah.
That's right. That's what he said.
So let's continue to organize and mobilize and stay engaged. And I thank you all. I thank you all. We are all in this together. All right? We are all in this together. And on this practical eve of Thanksgiving, I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving with the ability and to find the ability at this moment.
Wait, did she just hiccup? I
to
think
just
she
remember,
did.
There is
Go
so
back.
much to be thankful.
We need to go back.
And on this call, we are all in this together. All right? We are all in this together.
The cope is so strong.
And on this practical eve of Thanksgiving,
Listen.
I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving with the ability and to find the ability at this moment.
Oh my God.
To just remember,
boy.
there is so much to be thankful for. And so I wish for you that you are surrounded by the people you love and who love you. As you know, I encourage you to be around family in whatever way you compose that family, but to take a moment and just reflect on all the good you have done and all the good you have yet to do. We are powerful, those of us who love our country, and we got a lot of work to do.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Was this for her donors or was this for her supporters? I'm assuming it's for her
I have
supporters.
no idea. I'm guessing it was for her supporters. I do know like the Democrat account posted it on Twitter.
Okay.
And I was like, why would they do this to her? Because
it looks bad.
It was so bad that I'm like, I would have just been like, okay, we're not posting this. You don't look good. You don't sound good. So that, but it just goes to show, I guess, that like her own staff freaking hates her.
They're just kind of like, we lost the election. We're done. We're not really going to put a lot of effort in this. Kamala is not going to be sober.
It was almost as if they're like wanting to just be like, you know what, this is the nail in the coffin for her. Like, we never want her to run again. Like, you are not running again in like the 4 years or whatever, because no one's gonna forget this. I don't think people are just gonna
that video or her election run.
This video. I mean, this
okay
drunk video. Like, imagine if she's like, yeah, I'm gonna run again. People are gonna be like, remember drunk Kamala?
Yeah, people do have a somewhat short memory span, but I just don't see. Their support isn't there. Apparently, she's like now she's like the lead front runner, but
to run for the next. I think it's gonna be I hate to say it,
Gavin.
I really hate it. Yeah. I think it's gonna be Gavin. I think next election cycle it's gonna be him.
Yeah.
Here is my favorite lady that honestly made knowing Kamala, like just Kamala's clips, a little bit more bearable. And I'll share yours right after this.
Sure.
Because this is I'm gonna miss her. This is the only person I'm gonna miss when Kamala's gone.
She could still do videos reacting to Trump.
Welcoming
That's
our
true.
Vice President, Kamala Harris.
See, biscuit brother. You have just been such an, extraordinary leader. And, we've become fast drinking friends who have been leading with so much grace and poise. You are just the definition of masculinity. Time out. I mean, this
She's
is
even
unbelievable. Who wrote this? I know we have budget cuts, but who wrote this? Nah, you know what? Because I'm gonna improvise. I'll let y'all write everything else, and you fucked everything up for me. Get me an 8-ball. I'm doing this raw.
Oh, shit.
Are we ready to roll?
Oh my
I
God.
wanted to get on here and tell you that I'm thankful. The fight is not over. The fight has just begun. You helped make all that happen. You are still in this call. You are still in this fight. As far as I'm concerned, you are still in this room. My campaign raised a historic $1.4 billion. And my campaign calculators told me that it was about an average of $56 a person.
Oh, shit.
That's history. We made history. Fight is not over. Do you think our fight ended on November 5th? Do you think our fight ended On November 5th. That's what this is all about.
She's so good.
She is.
That's what this is all about. A fight for freedom. A fight for inclusivity. DEI. A fight for all of it. One nation. Depending on what you believe in. Under, God or the other guy. That's why we're asking for a monthly subscription of $79.99 from now until 2028. It was worth a shot.
Oh my God, that was great.
She's one of the few people that I actually, when I watch her videos, like I genuinely laugh out loud when I watch them.
She was the only one that was making like Kamala anything bearable. Like I was like, okay, just knowing like, oh, there's a new interview with Kamala. That means like there's a new thing from her. Like that means that's going to be coming out. Real quick, let me get her. What's her name again? Esther something. Esther. I forget her name. I know her like.
Is it Esther or is it
Esty? Yeah, Esty. Okay. Esty is her name. This is this was on her Twitter. She said this is her favorite one from this clip that we watched. This is like one of the her favorite meme.
And I know this is an uncertain time. I'm clear-eyed about it.
It's not your fault.
I know you're clear-eyed about it. And it feels heavy.
It's not your fault.
I just have to remind you. Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you.
It's not
You
your fault.
have the same power that you did before November 5th.
It's not your fault.
And you have the same purpose.
Oh my God.
Stands take your power from you.
It's not your fault.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It was another one that I saw, and it was like somebody had put like a booze bottle in her hand.
I seen that one. That
Oh
was
my God,
good
that was really good. Okay,
There's
let's do
a
this
lot of
one.
talent out there.
So this is what you were talking about. I can't hear it.
Sorry, I'm like, I've got to play it. Okay.
Okay, now I want each of you to shout your own name. Do that.
Oh my!
It's about all of us. It's about all of us. And listen, I have
God. Oh.
Have you ever seen somebody deflate, just
Ooh.
absolutely deflate a room like that? I'll play it one more time just because.
Yeah, please do it. Yeah. Oh
like that
my
takes, I don't even know how you do something like that. Well, you do this.
Yeah, you do this. Holy shit. Look, they're all into it.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, what?
Okay, now I want each of you to shout your own name. Do that. Because it's about all of us. It's
Oh my God. And she's like laughing, like that weird Joker laugh she does.
Career to put the people first.
Oh my God. She's insane.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Thank the Lord.
Pretty freaking wild.
Okay, you know what? It is Thanksgiving, basically. It's tomorrow. So I'm going to give thanks that the American people came out and voted. Changed what could have been a very, very painful 4 years for basically the entire world. So thank God. I'm going to give thanks for that. Woo, that was rough. That was a rough watch. I did have one more Kamala thing to watch here. This was a reaction from Stephen A. Smith, which I've been meaning to watch. I haven't watched the whole thing, but apparently he was talking about Kamala in not a very good light. So let's listen to this for a second.
Is he on Bill Maher?
It really
Oh, he is on Bill Maher. Okay. Or is
Yeah, I guess
Bill
so.
Maher's
I
podcast?
have not seen this one. That was really loud.
really was. And when you see stuff like that, you know, Canelo Alvarez, Triple G.
Sounds like what happened to the Democrat.
How about that? And you know what? And that was an ass kicking. That was, if we're being honest about it, it was a thorough ass kicking. Ain't no way around it, Bill.
I
mean, you know more politics than me, but damn it, a blind man could see the Democrats got their ass kicked. Yeah, it was like, you know what? I like that analogy. Democrats similar to Terrence Crawford, Errol Smith Jr. Yep, that works.
I mean,
it was that kind of ass kick.
It won't work on a lot of people like me who don't know who these people are.
Right.
Why do you think it is that boxing became a sport that?
Well, I mean, I just thought that was funny because Stephen A. was one of those people that's like, you gotta work for, you gotta vote for Kamala. She's the only choice, and she's black, and you have to vote for her. You have to. It was like the whole thing.
I didn't see it.
Nuts.
That's
I was always interested in when it was Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, and even up to who got his ear bit off?
Mike Tyson, Holyfield.
Tyson, Holyfield. Right. And it's been years now. Is that because UFC?
Combination of two. Number one, you can, and I love the fact that you made that analogy because the kind of ass kicking that the Democrats just received is similar to a lot of that stuff.
What do you think they should do about it?
The Democrats?
Yeah.
How about listen, I like Westmore, governor of Maryland, but you have, to use your baseball analogy, you have no bullpen. Who is it? Trump's been the Republican nominee since 2016.
Yeah.
Okay. It is clear that that's who conservatives want in the White House. Okay. That's who they supported. They didn't give a damn about 34 indictments. They didn't give a damn about 2 impeachments. They didn't give a damn about all the legal issues and the lawfare that the Democrats engaged in. They said, Joe, that's who we want.
Real quick, I want to address this one because it says Stephen was irritated by Obama lecturing black men. Was he? That's pretty good. I mean, it's good that he was irritated by that. I didn't see that, but
he's definitely got he's got his base moments, and the fact that he can admit, and he's just putting out there that Democrats got their ass kicked. Like he can at least see clearly enough to recognize that they've got problems.
There's a couple of them that have been like that. Like Stephen A is doing it here. I think Anna Kasparian went off. Like I saw her posting about how there's definitely problems within the Democratic Party that they need to address. And she was kind of saying certain things that was it's really common sense stuff, but it was
they're even tired with the far left.
Yeah.
Cenk is tired too.
I mean, I think that was probably the most shocking one for me because he is the Young Turks dude. He's over it. He's been over it for a while. The issue though is that they're just also still brainwashed by thinking that Donald Trump is going to bring about this new age of fascism. That's kind of really weird. Even though that you guys have lived already through 4 years of Trump. I mean, Cenk still thinks that, even though they're we lost, but he's still a fascist. It's a weird thing.
This is the difference, and I said this to a lot of people, Bill. The conservatives said, we want that guy. That's who we want. And the voters decided who the Republican nominee is going to be. When you look at the Democrats, they didn't do it with Obama. That's true. Okay.
Didn't do what?
They greased the skids. This is the person we want. It's her turn. It was Hillary's turn in 2016. All right, Biden.
Well, that's not Obama. Obama earned it.
No, that's why I said he earned it. But in 2016, and I'm not even trying to imply
they voted. Hillary ran in the primaries.
I'm not even trying to imply that she. But remember, they were complaining that Bernie Sanders had some momentum and was compromised by the Democratic Party because they were saying it was Hillary's turn. Bernie
Sanders, I love him, but he's too far left, and he would have been a bigger disaster than Kamala was.
That's fine. But what I'm saying to you is still in all, Bill, what I would...
That's hilarious that Bill Maher would say that about Bernie. I mean, that's true, but... You didn't think that Bill would say something like that.
Now, Bernie ran as her VP.
Granted, I disagree with you. What I'm saying is,
if Bernie ran as her VP, that could have been a different story.
Exactly.
If Bernie is, they weren't a lot of people weren't going to go as far left as Bernie wanted to go. They weren't as progressive, but I think they would have been accepting of him as a vice president.
Yeah, I agree. They would have been too.
the only thing I will push back on is that's fine, but that's for the voter to decide.
Right.
And a lot of times the Democratic Party seems as if they've got their claws in the mix. Take Biden, for example. Okay, so, Clyburn helps him get through South Carolina. He ultimately goes to the Democratic nomination. He's the Democratic.
Honestly, that's one of the biggest things is the Biden factor in all of this is like, I mean, it's almost as if people are forgetting that Biden was actually the first nominee. And he had to drop out and have Kamala inserted because the weirdest thing is like understanding that or like realizing, I guess for the Democrats, that you had a literal corpse as your it's still president of the United States. Like technically he's still a president.
President still?
Technically, yeah. I mean, he's until January, right? What is it? January 6th? Is it always
January
at the
20th,
same date?
Right?
I don't know.
Or no. Oh, okay. I guess they certify the election, but I think technically Trump doesn't take office till the 20th.
He has
right?
to get sworn in. So when the swearing in is, when he, takes the oath and blah, 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 that's when he becomes the president. So until then, technically Biden's still the president of the United States. So it's weird because and people like Chang, people like Stephen A, people like a lot of these liberals were like, oh yeah, our guy Biden, he's fine. Like there's nothing going on. Like he's fine. And then there's somebody like you that literally is basically chronicled. Like, I mean, you could go to John's channel and it's like the chronicle of Biden's decline.
The first channel
over the last 4 years.
All the videos have been deleted.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
But do you have them like in your house, like in your hard drive?
I just deleted them all. I should have saved them.
You should have saved them on a hard drive. That's like a literal chronology of Biden's decline.
Nobody's going to want to watch it again. Who wants to relive the Biden moments? Unless you want to fall asleep at night or
it could go down in history, John. This is part of like history. You could have made like some sort of documentary or something of what the fuck happened with Biden.
Now I don't even want to think about all the possibilities, but I probably it would have taken so much work and so much time to save and copy every video. But
listen, John, it's about hard work. Okay, if you wanted to do it, you should have just done the hard work, and then we would have had some joy. I don't know.
As somebody, Kamala, as somebody who's like probably never experienced a day of hard work in her life.
No,
it's
I hardly doubt
that whole statement. And we love hard work. Like it comes off so when you watch her, it's just so unauthentic. But anyhow,
it's so cringe because that was like the whole thing that happened. That was one of the last things that happened with her being all, oh yeah, like I worked at McDonald's, and that fucking Donald Trump was like,
Trump literally goes to McDonald's and works there during his presidential run. I mean, that is
like
just
as a fucking garbage man. Like he went into a garbage
trolling.
truck.
Yeah,
I mean, it was crazy. Russell Hall, thanks for the 5, but he says, I'm sorry. Where the hell have you been? Yes, Biden's still president, and he's turned on the afterburners, pushing us straight into World War III. You know what, though, Russell? I have a feeling that Russia and Putin is a little bit too smart for that. I think they're waiting for Donald Trump to become president, like actually become president. So I don't think they're going to hype it up until they know this guy's on his way out, and he's just doing basically everything he can to fuck over Donald Trump. So I think I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to be successful into taking everybody to World War III before he leaves. But yeah, he's still president, and he's nuts. I love that clip of him though when he was like walking into the Amazon jungle. That was so funny.
Man, like that's just so surreal.
Oh, so good. I should have saved that clip.
Nominee for the president. He ultimately wins the election. There was supposed to be a red wave in 2022 in the midterms. The Republicans didn't pull that off. And Biden is feeling himself and saying, I ain't going anywhere.
I wonder why they didn't pull that off, which we can't really talk about that on Twitter. I mean, YouTube.
I'm not going to. I told y'all I was going to be a transitional president. I told y'all
They really went.
I was going to be a one-term dude. I'm just here as a stopgap to pave the way for the future of the Democratic Party. And then all of a sudden, he in office takes that power.
He was a veritable John the Baptist. Just the guy who goes before.
Come on, bro.
Absolutely.
Bill, the point is that your ass was going to be 82 years old in the White House. Come on now. And then I'll never forget this. Bill, I swear to you, I love your show, Real Time. I'm a huge fan. I watch it every chance I get. I have never.
No, real fans watch it every week. You watch it every chance you get. I'm just fucking with you.
Because I got multiple jobs. But here's the deal, Bill. But I TiVo it. I tell you that much. I DVR it, right?
TiVo it.
DVR.
I'm going to send you a telegram about that.
You told him myself. Here's the deal,
Playing
man.
on the record player.
I have never wanted to be on your show more than I wanted to be on your show when Biden announced that he was going to run for re-election. Because I'm like this, what y'all going to say now? This is some straight bullshit. You got a situation where you won the midterm. You denied, you halted, you warded off the red wave. And you, knowing you're going to be 81 at election time, knowing you're going to be 82 in office, right? It wasn't the midterm. It was when the State of the Union address took place. And I saw these people.
Was the State of the Union that really creepy fucking thing that he did with like the red background?
No, State of the Union is in the Capitol building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That creepy speech, that was bad.
That was weird. I don't know, like who thought that was a good idea? Let's have some bright or some really like red, strong red lights.
He looked like the fucking emperor from Star Wars.
We'll continue playing this, but I'll pull up some pictures of that because that was just such
that was nuts because he was all like, "I'm going to win." Like
these MAGA extremists,
those MAGA Republicans. Like he was like fucking crazy. I was like, dude, he's like he is the emperor.
So when you call yourself progressives,
yeah.
Oh, so you're looking forward with a dude that's gonna be 82 and would leave office when he's 86. Really, y'all? I'm sitting there like, you got to be shitting me. This is what you're talking about? And I'm like, I knew I wasn't voting for Trump. I knew that wasn't gonna happen. But I was saying to myself, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? And then I looked at their bullpen. They had no one. They had no one. They had no one that could compete with Donald Trump.
Well, not on a charisma level.
Fair. Okay, fair enough.
No,
but charisma is what gets you votes, bro.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. Charisma does get you votes. Russell Hall for $5 says Russia isn't the one escalating. Biden greenlit long-range ATCMs, missile strikes into Russia, prompting Russia to showcase a new super weapon. I know. I don't think that Russia is going to like use those new super weapons with nukes attached to them in the U.S. is what I'm trying to say. I think they're going to hold off for now. They may hit some military bases and like some, like in the Middle East somewhere or something like that. But they're not going to escalate it into Europe or into America, at least not for now. We'll see what happens when Trump is actually president and what he intends to do with Ukraine. Boy. Okay, what did you have something to share?
I've got let me just that picture of Biden in this. Like this looks very like fascist, like a fascist leader.
Yeah, speaking of fascism.
There's even worse. I think there's even worse pictures, but of him shouting and yelling. But that lighting choice is just it just does not.
Dude, put a
it does
couple
not look
Nazi
good.
flags in the background, and that's like it's no good.
Like the uplighting too of just how the I mean, it's
Whoever's decision that was, man, I tell you,
yeah, it's
it's
pretty
bad. Like
bad.
it's just like the entire campaign for Kamala. Like I'm like, who is running this show? Like I don't know what's going on with the DNC. Like I honestly think that maybe there's like some saboteurs in there because
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like they make some certain decisions that you're like, how could you think this is a good idea? Like I don't nobody wants this. Yeah, this is the whole let's go Brandon thing. Like I think that's where the whole Brandon thing came from, right? Before that, the NASCAR thing, and everybody was like, yeah, let's go Brandon. And then he did this, and everybody was like, let's go Brandon.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Yeah, President Palpatine for sure.
Yeah, Kamala, her campaign, like it was funny because she stopped laughing for a little while up to the debate, and she actually did a decent debate performance. I don't think it was Trump's best night.
Remember when she was like biting her lip not to laugh? Like she was like,
No, okay. I'm always picturing. I was talking with a friend, and he had this great idea for like a skit where, as she like leaves the stage, you could just tell like she's been holding it in the whole time, and like her handlers or something, they like escort her to a room, and she just goes in there, and you just hear like this muffled like laughing.
oh my God.
And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. That's a genius idea for a skit.
That is a good skit. I mean, there's so many good skits you could do. It's too bad SNL sucks. Because I mean, they have gold. I mean, this what was her name?
They actually did have.
Chick? She's fucking great. Like
yeah.
people like her should be running SNL. Like that's what you need.
The ratings would be through the freaking roof if you had like what Shane Gillis is that his name? Who did the Trump? He's done the Trump
the Trump guy. Yeah.
Like if those you get all these like great comics together and they compete against SNL, I mean they really would probably smoke them in terms.
Well,
of
did
ratings.
you hear that? Apparently, from what I'm hearing, MSNBC might be sold to Elon Musk.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it's possible. So it's because he went like, how much is it when they said about the whole thing? So people are like wondering if it happens, like that he would basically obviously cancel The View or just recast The View with like new panelists, you know? So like
that would be some wild stuff if he's like, we'll keep the show, but you're all fired. We're gonna put in our own people.
Like imagine he puts on like Alex Jones and like, you know, some other fucking crazy people like on and they're like the new View. Like
here's what I would like though. I love it if he did actually diversify the panel. So you'd have like Republicans.
Like you'd have men and women.
That
right?
Yeah, but you have Republicans, Democrats, you have like far left to far right.
Oh yeah. I think
dude, Alex freaking Jones on there. Can you imagine the discussions and just how insane that would get?
That would be great because Alex is so crazy. So it's like in the best way. So it would be just like,
oh my gosh, that would be so epic.
That would be good TV. Like
it would be.
That's what
Dude, the View's ratings would go through the freaking roof, man.
Yeah, it would. Elon also said this earlier today, which this I'm not for. You know me and Elon have a love-hate relationship. So then he brings up and everybody knows Elon Musk is into video games. So today he quote tweeted this guy talking about game developers and journalism just being like terrible. And he's like, too many game studios that are owned by massive corporations. At XAI is going to start an AI game studio to make games great again. Now, I don't like AI. That's no secret. I'm not a fan. But I understand that AI is a tool that is now part of our lives. Like it's going to be moving forward. It is what it is. Like it's there. I don't know if replacing humans with complete AI is going to change and make games better though. Like I don't think like AI movies are great. It's certainly not right now. Like it's not you watch an AI movie, man, it looks like shit. Like you're like, oh, that like soulless and cringy and like just ugh.
Did you see what Ben Affleck had to say about AI in movies?
No.
I thought he offered a really good explanation as to why, like, there will never, AI is not going to just take over movies completely.
What did he say? Like, do you have is there a clip or an article?
Yeah, I could pull up. I'll pull up the clip. It'll be better.
Okay.
If it comes from him.
Yeah, let's hear it. Cause I mean that's something that that's why they went on strikes. Like the freaking Actors Guild and whatever Writers Guild is one of the reasons was because of AI. Not all the reasons, but majority of it was because of that. And it is taking over. Like it's not that it's not, but I also feel like this whole AI craze that, especially that he's talking about, like, oh, we're just gonna make AI games now. It's like it's kind of like what CGI to me is like now. Like back in the day, everybody was like, "Oh, CGI is so cool! Like everything's green screen and blah blah blah." And now everything is green screen. I mean, it's like it's so like oversaturated. Like, when is it going to end?
Yeah, and it's funny because now you've got people that they want Christopher Nolan's. They want people that do more practical effects as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like people are just, they're, you can like, that's the thing, even as good as the technology has become, but still some of it doesn't even live up to Jurassic Park levels.
It looks awful. John, like for example, I saw
the original, because the original still from 1993.
It looks good.
It holds up. Like it works. It's fine. But yeah, like you're saying, it's just modern
it's
CGI.
The same with like Star Trek DS9 to me, like it still holds up. Like I'm like, I can watch DS9 and it's fine. But man, I watched Megalopolis recently. That's the new Francis Coppola. Oh my God, John. Have you watched the movie?
I haven't seen it yet. No, I'm waiting to watch it. Yeah, for free. I'm not gonna pay.
Oh boy, John. It is one of the worst movies I've ever watched. I was like, my God, it is such a waste of time. Like, I highly recommend you skip it. But if you're gonna like, if you're morbidly curious,
I am absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you should. I mean, you should check it out. We will talk about it. Like if you watch it, we can talk about it. But like, my God, man, like he's lost his ever-loving mind. Like he's fucking absolutely gone. Okay, let's hear.
Nothing you've ever seen before.
It's. I mean, the guy's like he went so meta that it's like he went like meta within meta within meta within meta, and you're just like making good movies really just requires really simple things. Like less is more when it comes to movies. Like less is more. You have a movie like, for example, Casablanca. It's timeless. You can watch that movie anytime and it still moves you and it still gives you like, the feels, and you're like, oh my God, like this is a movie. Like there's just certain things, and it's not super long and it doesn't have all these fucking crazy graphics or whatever. It's just simple story that connects, like human connection,
Mm-hmm.
And he's lost that, man. It's like, it's over. Like he is so far gone that it just makes it's sad in a way, because it's like like being a senile old man making a movie.
Ouch.
It was bad.
It is interesting how, and I'm sure chat, feel free to drop artists who like their best work is behind them, because it does seem that for some artists, they just don't have what they used to. They don't have the juice.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's musicians, like there's certain musical groups. I think Martin Scorsese is kind of an exception to that rule. Like he's still on it. He's still delivering. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
The quality has not really dropped off from him from
No,
what
I
I
mean,
can
like,
tell.
I think the last one he did was The Irishman, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I think, right? Or was that? Did he do another one
No,
after Irishman?
Flowers of the Killer Moon, I think.
Oh, The
Yeah.
Killer. Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a downer. It's not, but it's still in terms of direction and the craft, it's still a well-produced and well-made, well-written movie. I just
Mhm.
like the subject matter was a little
That's why I
depressing,
didn't watch
but
it because of the subject matter. I was like,
yeah.
I don't want to watch this. Scorsese just needs to make mob movies. I mean, it's the same thing with Francis Coppola. I'm like, my God, man, go back to The Godfather. Like, holy fuck. Like, just
Well, he did
no.
Godfather 3, and that
Oh,
wasn't
that's true.
especially that
This
great. But
was
Godfather 1 and 2 is, it's some of the greatest movies to hit the screen.
the movie is called Megalopolis. It's like a take on Metropolis, but it's his take. It's Megalopolis. There's a lot of themes that he pulls from the idea of Metropolis. You know what's crazy too is the movie actually started out really cool. Like I was like really into it within the first like 20 30 minutes. And then my God, he takes a dive and you're like, oh fucking hell. And like my husband was like, I'm done. Like I can't watch this anymore. And
Is that
he
bad?
walks out. Like he was like 30 minutes. He was like, I'm done. It's over for me. I'm like, I can't. And I was like, I can't stop because it was like
So bad.
it was like a train
wreck.
wreck. Like I could not turn away. I was like, I need to know like if there's a purpose to this madness. Like I need to know if there's gonna be something that comes out of this.
It's gonna tie together. Is all these different threads and all these different things, are they all gonna like amount to something wonderful?
Yeah, like is it gonna exactly like is it like I'm the stupid person that like I mean this guy's like so amazing that he's just gonna make like something so extravagantly cool, like like and I'm just like this pleb that's like I'm just beholden to whatever this guy has to offer. No, I got it. I got what the movie was about. It was fucking
Just
shit.
wasn't much there.
It was fucking awesome. I mean, awful.
It was so
It was
awesome.
awesome. It was also awesome in a way of like, what the fuck was that? Like, holy shit.
See, that's why I'm gonna see Joker 2 when it's free. But
Okay.
because I want to see, everybody's practically destroyed it for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just curious, like, how bad is this train wreck? How bad is this car fire? Like I almost
You're just
want
like,
to
you're
watch.
morbidly curious.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would rather watch a movie like that than see something that is just the same old thing.
This is the movie I'm talking about. Some people are wondering what it is. It's with Adam Driver, and mind you, Adam Driver did well. Like the cast did well with what they were given. All of them, they're all great actors.
Yeah.
But my God, I don't know.
They can't turn coal. Well, I'd say into diamonds, or they can't.
You can't
trash into gold, or
no matter how much you rub that diamond, man, it is not gonna. It's not gonna. What it like?
Because I was gonna say my analogy is terrible because coals can turn to diamonds, but takes extreme amount of pressure.
Well, I'm more like this is a pile of shit. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you
and that's all it can really be converted to. There's not really a whole. Maybe it can be used as manure someplace.
I'm gonna do a review on this. Like I think I have to do like a spoiler review because I was like, the fuck is this? Like this is one of those movies where I was like, I've watched it, so you don't have to. Aubrey Plaza was in this. I mean, Aubrey Plaza was fucking great. I love Aubrey Plaza. This dude was great. They were all great. The cast was great. It was just
Shia LaBeouf's in it too.
Shia LaBeouf was in it. Dustin Hoffman was in it. Morpheus was in it. Morpheus was a fucking cat. I can't. You need to watch it so we can actually talk about the movie because it's like it was bad.
Okay.
And I don't want to spoil it for you. I don't want to tell you anything because it's so crazy that like when you watch it, you'll be like, the fuck did I just watch? So I don't want to tell you anything. I want you to go in with like virgin eyes so that
Sure.
you can really appreciate the hell that I went through.
Well, did you hear that Francis Ford Coppola was smoking weed on this, you know, in his trailer on the set? Like it was
No, I didn't hear that, but I did hear that like during some of the like the party scenes because the movie, I'll tell you the setting though. The movie's like set in like New Rome. So
Yeah.
that it's like a kind of like a his take on what Rome would be like in this society, which was cool. That's why I really liked it because in like the beginning I was like, oh, this is a really interesting idea. Kind of like explaining like the fall of Rome and you know that, but in a new way, right? And I like Rome and I like everything to do with that kind of stuff. And like, you know, even like Adam Driver's character's name's Caesar. So like there's a lot of things literally lives in New Rome and everything like that. So in that sense, I was like, oh, this is so interesting. And then all of a sudden it just takes a fucking massive dive. So like it had such a good concept, but like one of those things,
Execution.
yeah, in the party scenes, because there was a party scenes like that they had in Rome and everything like that. It came out that like he was really like pervy towards a lot of the extras and like, you know, groping them or like, you know, to like saying like, you know, old Italian things to them and you know, like acting like an Italian old man.
Yeah.
Which I don't really have a problem with because I'm like, he's an Italian old man. Of course he's gonna be pervy. Like, I don't care. Like, you know, whatever. But apparently, like a bunch of people did have a problem with that. So like they were trying to kind of like cancel him. And I was like, okay, this movie's gonna be good. Like when I was going in, like I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. Like
They're trying to cancel him.
Yeah, they're trying to cancel him. And I'm not now I'm like, oh my God, like take a bow,
They
sir. Take a
cancel
bow
the
and just
movie.
please go walk into the sunset. Like, please just never again. Never again. Okay, let's watch this. I'm
Yeah.
curious.
It's Megalopolis was interesting because I remember hearing about it. I think this was like years ago, like probably a year or so ago. And I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be wild.
Yeah, me
it actually
too.
gets make like this will be, and the cast was pretty insane. And then for it to go down.
Apparently people walked out in Cannes. And I was like, people walked out? Like, why? Now I know why.
They had trouble finding a distributor as well. And this
because
is
there's
why.
not much to distribute, John. It was fucked. Like it was so bad. You have to watch it, and now we could really discuss it.
For sure. Okay, this is Ben Affleck talking about why AI is not going to take over the Hollywood industry.
As we kind of wrap up here, I do want to come back to AI. Jerry, you mentioned it, but you know, Ben, how did earlier you guys weren't here? We did a demonstration. My colleague Andrew Sorkin and I recreated ourselves and our voices. How do you see it? I mean, is it a benefit or is it a real threat? Is it possible that a Netflix could say, we're going to do our own, James Bond thing out there with a bunch of actors that are completely recreated for this market or that market?
A, that's not possible now. B, will it be possible in the future? Highly unlikely. C, movies will be one of the last things, if everything gets replaced, to be replaced by AI. AI can write you excellent imitative verse that sounds Elizabethan. It cannot write you Shakespeare. The function of having two actors or three or four actors in a room and the taste to discern and construct that is something that currently entirely eludes AI's capability, and I think will for a meaningful period of time. What AI is going to do is going to disintermediate the more laborious, less creative, and more costly aspects of filmmaking that will allow costs to be brought down, that will lower the barrier to entry, that will allow more voices to be heard, that will make it easier for the people who want to make Goodwill Huntings to go out and make it. Look, AI is a craftsman.
Anytime you want to chime in, Nina, let me know.
I mean, like so far, like I'm kind of with him. Like I agree in a sense that like I don't think that, at least for now, because it's AI is so in its infant stage right now, that it's going to be replacing movie making anytime soon. Because I mean, I've seen some of the movie fucking AIs they've come out with, and it looks like fucking shit.
Yeah.
So it's not like I just don't think it's realistic. And I don't know if it will be in my lifetime, but it will be in the future. Yes, I believe that AI is heading that way for sure. I don't know how.
you'll ever see a
too.
movie completely constructed just by AI and
Yes, I
nothing
do.
else?
Yes, I do. I think
Okay.
it's going to happen. I don't know if it will be like I said, I don't know how soon it's going to be, but I think it's absolutely going to happen. Like fully all script, like everything, like just production, like everything AI.
This
I think it'll happen.
this would be quite the concept for a movie, is like if AI. See, I don't know if that's ever really going to be possible, but I think people will maybe, I don't know. People might be morbidly curious to see like what it's definitely possible. Don't get me wrong. Like a AI can make an entire movie. You could probably program it, but as he's saying, there is some level of taste, or there's got to be some creative, editing of that. That's the only
There
thing
has to be a vision. Like
Yeah.
there has to be some type of vision. And even like with AI movies or anything that you make AI, like right now you have to have humans like oversee it for now
Yeah.
until it decides to become self-sufficient. Have you seen the new like Coca-Cola ads that they came out with this Christmas?
I don't know if I did.
That's all AI. The entire thing. So
What are they
that's
of?
how, it's like the AI of I'll pull it up. I think it's like the new like Christmas commercials, with the little
Polar bears
train.
or?
Yeah,
Okay.
polar bears. Coke, Coca-Cola. I can't fucking spell Coca-Cola. Christmas commercial 2024. There it is. This is fully AI. And it's crazy because it's creepy, that we'll come back to this in 1 second.
Yeah.
It's creepy that it's all becoming like this. I mean, first of all, that people are losing jobs.
Right.
In the night, can you see it shining bright? Always Coca-Cola.
So this is all AI. And then, I mean, you could see, like, for example, like the dog. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
back in the day, they would get a real dog.
A real dog, yeah. Like you might as well get like a real dog on this, green screen. You could use that background and get away with it because it's blurry. But if you had like a real dog, but you can tell that is not really a real dog.
It's AI.
Yeah.
You can totally tell. I mean, it's dead inside. I mean, look, this is.
Yeah.
Did you see
They
the
even like
wag,
they should
tail
like
wag?
highlight, just highlight the eyes a little bit.
It's dead. Like it's
Yeah.
a dead. It looks like a fucking dead dog that, like, it has been reanimated, zombified. This is what I'm talking about. I don't like it.
It feels sterile, like I don't know if sterile is the word or just
dead inside. That's what it
Yeah.
feels like. I mean, look at this
This is
deer.
definitely
Dead inside. All of it is dead inside. Even the fucking polar bear looks
Yeah.
awful. Like, I mean, at least when you're animating it, they give the little twinkle in the eye. It's cute. Like, they do something with it when it's an actual animation that a person's working on, because they're trying to get it to look as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
But with this, I mean, where's the twinkle in the eye? Where's anything? This looks
This feels, this does not like that whole trucks thing. Just the way it's moving to those trucks, like it doesn't feel
very
true to reality.
Yeah, very unrealistic, like weird, not unrealistic movement, but I guess unrealistic movement. It just feels heavy and not like I don't know. It just doesn't look realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a step back from their other commercials. Like this is not a move forward.
And this is now acceptable for a huge company like Coca-Cola to be doing. I mean,
it's
Christmas
bizarre.
Commercials are one of the biggest things that they would spend on the money on.
Is this just strictly online, or is this on TV too?
I don't know. I just saw it on Twitter and I was like, it's created by Real Magic AI. They literally have to like say on there.
Well,
Um,
I think this could kind of work for like just a strictly internet thing. But like to
I don't know
have on,
because I don't have TV. So you would
Okay.
have to tell me, do you have TV? Do you still watch TV?
I watch cable. Like that's the only place that commercials would be is cable. Because like if the resolution is low enough and the screen is usually small enough to see something like that, then
Shadow War Child says I saw it on TV.
really, wow.
Yeah.
It just
So there you go.
It's a step back. I'm surprised a company as big as Coca-Cola would not just spend the money.
That's what I'm saying. And they're like, and holiday Christmas commercials were one of the biggest things that they would spend money on. And now they don't have to spend that money. They're like, oh, we're just gonna AI it. Like, do you know how much money they saved? A lot,
Yeah.
just to do that.
How much?
You know, but you say that, who cares about commercials? But this is how it starts. And we're talking about movies with Ben Affleck here. And Ben Affleck saying it's never going to happen, guys. But we were saying that about commercials just a few years ago. It's never going to happen. Like, you're never going to see AI commercials on TV. Here we are, 2024. One of the biggest companies in the world doing AI commercials already. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just how fast is it going to be integrated into society and how much is going to be accepted? Because you do have that uncanny valley aspect to it that's not quite there for the movies just yet, but for commercials, it's acceptable.
Yeah. And even for commercials, even though like, yeah, of course, commercials are not anywhere near the art form of, movies or novels or actual paintings or whatever. But still, I think that there is like Nina is saying, I think AI is gonna creep into those areas. But there is just a certain level of, I think, artistic quality that once it becomes normalized, what passes for okay. Once like if commercials like that, if a Coca-Cola company, like that's fine in terms of like they're fine with that being their level or their bar. I just think that like art is kind of a reflection of society, or it influences society. And that's why it's so important that like art is not just productized, but that it actually has a soul, that it is, there's some pride put into it or really just some passion put into it. And I think if you lose that, it translates into a weaker society. I think we're worse off because of it in some way.
That's what I have a problem with Elon being like, oh, I want to make like a fully like AI video game company, because I'm like, you can have a problem with woke DEI game developers and game companies and all these creators, but AI is not going to solve your problem. Like, it's not. First of all, what if a woke person programs the AI? You're still going to have woke games then. Programmers replacing programmers is kind of like a weird meta idea within itself, because at the end of the day, AI is just programs. It's a weird idea to me, because I'm like, you're trying to get rid of something by replacing it with an utter shit. Like, like you're like, I'm gonna take this shit and replace it with this shit. Like, and I don't necessarily think that's gonna help anything. I'm like, where's the art? Like, we need human ingenuity. We need human creativity. We need all of those things to come back to video games and movies and commercials and all of these things. And the fact that we've been talking about DEI for so long, we're talking about DEI taking away merit. That's the whole point. Like, we're becoming a meritless society. So now you're saying we're going to take away not only the merit of even the people that don't deserve it, we're just going to give it to AI.
Yeah, we're gonna like screw humans altogether, like at least if you're a human being, and sure, DI is like, you're not the best person is not necessarily getting the job there, but now we're gonna like, oh, you know what? No humans get jobs. We're just gonna delegate that to computers altogether.
And then have like a couple of these humans that oversee the AI. Like that's basically, I mean, essentially every sci-fi novel, if you've ever read, movie, whatever, that's what becomes of us is we become the robots take over and they keep us around only because we're the ones that make them function.
Yeah.
So,
and oh, sorry, Nina, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I think the whole idea of like AI completely taking over might seem as asinine as like Trump becoming a fascist and stuff. But you give it like you give a ruler any length of time, a long enough time frame. And that's the thing. The beautiful thing about our democracy is like you got 8 years tops and you're done, next person. And we have these checks and balances. But if AI is given a long enough time and it becomes I don't want to say like smart enough, but ultimately it is going to grow. It is going to become
artificial intelligence. When it becomes intelligent enough, it's going to do things.
Now, I don't know, like I don't necessarily think that AI will ever become sentient or self-aware. That's my opinion. Just that with the idea of like, I think you do truly need a soul to become self-aware and sentient, but human beings can probably interject their ideas and programs into AI. But yeah, given enough time frame, I'm more concerned about we will become dependent on AI.
Which we are now. I mean, look
already,
at Coca-Cola.
But it's just going to
just do it.
It's just going to become even more it's just going to become more extreme, I think. And to the point where humans are sucking on the teat of
I mean,
AI
Elon is
content.
already doing that too with his robots. Like he's got the robots now. You have somebody like what's his name? The Amazon dude, Bezos. He's investing highly in those things because he wants to replace the workforce with robots. I mean, it's become a very dystopian society. It's becoming a very dystopian society, which we're talking about. We're laughing about it. We're like laughing about it now, but in 20, 30 years from now, yes, the Amazon factories will be run by robots. Yes, they will be run by, I mean, you already have drone deliveries. That was unheard of 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like now it's like, oh, you have drone deliveries. Like it's all becoming automated. Like everything has become automated. Barely anything is working with human ingenuity anymore. It's scary, man. It's a scary time.
And I think this is just a point where like there does come a point where everything done for the dollar, where we are so driven by money, or where people are completely driven by money. And because competition is fierce and it makes sense, like you want to lower your costs as much as possible to, you're in a competitive market. But the problem is, and again, I love capitalism. I'm all for it. But at some point or another, when money just becomes like the strict bottom line of any society or anything, there comes a point where that's not healthy either, because we're not, where robots are doing, like, how are people, at some point or another, what are humans going to do if everything, nearly everything is automated?
Yeah, and like, and when you say what are they going to do, I don't even mean like when I hear you ask something like that, I don't even think about like in terms of like job. I think about that in terms of like, what's the point of getting up?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of waking up in the morning and living your life then? Because there's no drive anymore. There's nothing that's going to drive us to want to create things and want to be innovative and want to be like, oh, I'm going to be the best damn comic book artist I can be, or best damn like whatever I can be. If fucking AI is beating you at everything, what the hell's the point? Like
Yeah.
that makes a stagnant society to me. Like I think that
Yeah.
makes us even more stagnant. You think that we're going to become like, people generally think that we're going to become more advanced, but really what we're doing is we're losing that connection to God, because God brings creativity. Like that's when the spiritual aspect comes into it, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what God gave us, is our gift to create and to write poetry and to write, books and novels and create art and all these things. These are a gift from God. And what we're doing is really like we're turning away from that. And that cannot be a good thing to me. That's
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think we're probably, we'll become more soulless. And I think to some extent you can make an argument that we're already there for sure. But like if you think about even like the Renaissance, which was an incredible period of creation, then the camera comes out. And so now the camera can replicate reality. And this is like, there's pros and cons to it, because obviously photography can be an art form within itself,
Absolutely.
So like, I don't think we're necessarily in the danger zone at that point, but you see these like, once reality can be replicated with the camera, now the idea of like trying to replicate reality to some extent with art, then we get into impressionism, and that creates all these different things. And that's not necessarily a bad thing either, but some people would claim that, the Renaissance was just a higher form and a higher period of creation and art. Then certainly like you can make that argument compared to a lot of the modern stuff today, and a banana taped on a wall selling for $6.2 million or whatever.
Oh my God, that killed me on the inside. Just
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, but
he ate it.
are you serious?
Yeah, and
I didn't know that.
he said he's gonna eat it. The guy said, I'm gonna buy this thing and eat it. And I was like, so you basically paid $6.5 million to fucking buy banana. Like, I mean,
That is
unreal.
When you've got that much money, that's
I
pretty
really
wild.
hope that auction money was going to like something worthwhile. Like, I don't know what that money is going to, but I really hope it was going to like starving kids or something.
Something.
I really wanted to kill myself when I heard that.
On the one hand, it's like that it costs so much, but then he's going to eat it. Also, how did that banana not go ripe? Like,
Well, no, they
bad?
replaced it. They
Oh,
replaced
okay.
it like several times over. Like, because that was my first thought too. I was like,
Is
isn't
it
this like,
fake?
because it started
Yeah.
from 2019, and they've replaced the banana like all the time so that they can have it fresh. And then every time it goes bad, they put a new one. So it's not the original banana, or else it would be like basically nothing. It would be like a fucking fossil.
You're not even getting the original art.
No, you're getting a
that's so
fucking
weird.
you have to replace it every fucking 5 minutes because
So
bananas goes
bizarre.
bad like so fast. Dude, here bananas go fast within hours. Like I go and buy bananas like at the store. I come home and the heat and humidity literally by at nighttime. I buy green bananas. By nighttime, they're fucking
Wow.
yellow. And then by the morning, they're brown. Like it's fast. So,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That is crazy. They probably taste great though, because I imagine the bananas are they pretty local in Mexico?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Well, yeah, kind of. I think. I don't know. They have imported ones, but they also have like the local ones too.
Oh, okay.
200-watt studios for $2 says, eat what? Jennifer Lopez. No, we're talking about bananas as art, because we were talking about AI art, and he's talking about AI taking over movies, which we're gonna continue watching now. Go ahead, Joe.
Best craftsmen can learn to make stickly furniture by sitting down next to somebody and seeing what their technique is and imitating. That's how large video models, large language models basically work. A library of vectors of meaning and transformers that interpret context, right? But they're just cross-pollinating things that exist. Nothing new is created.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. And really, in order to do that, look, craftsman is knowing how to work. Art is knowing when to stop. And I think
Hmm.
knowing when to stop is going to be a very difficult thing for AI to learn because it's taste. And also lack of consistency, lack of controls, lack of quality. AI for this world of generative video is going to do key things more. I wouldn't like to be in the visual effects business. They're in trouble.
Yeah, he's
Mm.
right. He's right about that. That's
That's true.
definitely something that can be handed off to AI a little bit more than the other stuff. But yeah, I think in terms of what he's saying is like nothing is truly created new. It's and that's really all we do as human beings to some extent when it comes to creativity. Like we're just, even if we think an idea is somewhat original, it's probably pulled from, a few different, 5 different, 10 different places or whatever, just mashed up in our, in our memory. And, we're always pulling from something, but there's still, I think there is a big difference between that because like he said, art is knowing when to stop. And, that is a matter of taste. And I don't, for AI to consistently be able to make those type of decisions, those creative decisions to make something great, beautiful, wonderful, like a really meaningful thing. I just think that is something that has to be human. Like it can't be a machine. I don't ever picture it being a machine. And that's obviously why he's not really worried about AI taking over the movie industry.
Mm.
Because what costs a lot of money is now going to cost a lot less. And it's going to hammer that space, and it already is. And maybe it shouldn't take 1,000 people to render something, but it's not going to replace human beings making films. It may make your background more convincing. It can change the color of your shirt. It can fix mistakes that you've made. It can make it, you might be able to get 2 seasons of House of the Dragon in a year instead of 1. And if that happens, according to macroeconomics, in, cultures where there are basically oligopolies competing, what should happen is with the same demand and the same spend is they should just make more shows, which should, you should have the same spend and now you can just watch more episodes. And
But it's not
eventually
going
AI
to look
will
as
allow
good, at least
Yeah.
not for the first little while.
Sure.
Like you can get, 2 seasons of House of the Dragon, especially with regards to like if you're not talking about human replacement just yet. You're talking about the dragons replacement. But the dragons are going to look like shit. Like you saw that dog, okay? The AI is not capable of making quite extraordinary things just yet. Like
Just
I mean,
yet,
you're gonna it's gonna take some time. But when it happens, yeah, it's gonna be great. But even then, like I think humans are still gonna have something else on top of it
Yeah.
until it's until they
Putting
don't anymore.
the finishing
Yeah.
touches. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like especially with stuff like HBO, like if you're gonna make a show like that, you're still gonna have the humans go in and kind of like polish it and
Yeah.
things like that. I just don't see them creating what they're creating now, even with AI. At least not right now. Maybe in the future. Yeah, like give it 10 years.
That's what I'm
I
thinking.
think.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's funny that you mentioned that because Shadow Warchild, because that's kind of the mindset, the number that popped into my head as well. Is like, I think a decade out, like
Mhm.
it might actually be there.
It's just like what happened with Photoshop. Remember when Photoshop first came out and everybody was like, creating like the ugliest memes
Yeah.
and shit you've ever seen in your life. And then somebody was like, this is what Photoshop's capable of. And then people were starting to make like real shit. And everybody was like, whoa, like
Yeah.
Photoshop's, capable of that. Like, and then it kind of started blowing everybody away. But at first it was a bunch of ugly ass shit. Like, it was
Yeah.
like, damn, what the fuck is this? 200 Watt Studios, $2 says, oh, wait, I thought that was Ben Affleck. It is Ben Affleck. He's talking about AI and how he's coping about possibly being replaced someday.
It would be so funny if like AI came out and made a video about him doing this. Like, it just totally replicated it or is like making fun of him.
Yeah, totally.
You to ask for your own episode of Succession. where you could say, I'll pay $30 and can you make me a 45-minute episode where like Kendall gets the company and runs off and has an affair with Stewie.
Oh,
And
you know what? That's actually
and it'll be a
interesting what
little
he's talking
janky.
about.
Yeah.
He's talking about fan fiction.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're gonna get a lot of gay stuff. Like, I mean, there's gonna be like literally like a lot of gay Star Wars,
That's weird.
a lot of like weird furry shit. I mean,
Now,
oh
does the
man.
actor have to sign over their likeness? And also, they should probably get do they get residuals if they're for everything that is created with them?
I mean,
I
that's
wonder.
really interesting because I mean, like I know Mark Hamill sold his likeness to Disney, but is that going to be like for every Tom, Dick, and Harry? Once you get a hold of AI and you can make your own AI movies, like is that going to be like every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to go and make like, you know, gay porn fanfic with, you know, Luke Skywalker and whoever else? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it becomes like really fucked up. Like, I don't know how that's going to be regulated. I don't know how it's going to be regulated or if even it can be regulated at that point. Oh, that's wild.
Yeah,
think
people
about.
aren't really like if it's not being sold or something, you know, like I don't know what they can do.
Who's gonna care? Like, but that's what he's talking about. He's talking about basically like even earlier he was saying, oh, like, nice pause face there.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
Like even earlier he was saying that the AI is gonna help people create their own goodwill hunting.
Yeah.
And if that's true, that means like anybody can create whatever the fuck they want. We're not talking about studios at that point. We're talking about you and me. Like you and I
Yeah.
can go make whatever the fuck we wanted on
Make our
AI,
own
like as a
star-
movie.
Yeah. Does it get to the point where AI is so effective and like awesome that we could green screen, you know, the graphics of a Star Wars movie?
Yes, I think it's going to get there at some point. Not right now, but
Yeah.
at some point, yes. And there's going to be a lot of freaks. A lot of freaks are going to be making a lot of weird shit, guys. Oh no.
Nina's already thinking about it in that regard.
My mind is just like, oh no, this is
Yeah.
terrible. They should remake AI with AI. That's good. 201.
And a little bit weird, but it'll know their stats, it'll know those actors, and it will, you know, remix it in effect,
Right.
and it will do that. That's the value, in my view, long term of AI for consumers, which is eventually my hope for AI is that it's an additional revenue stream that can replace DVD, which took 15 to 20% out of the economy of filmmaking, which is and there should be negotiated rights and
That's a
visual
key
rights to
part of
say
it.
if you want to, because what do people want to make 5-minute, 30-second TikTok videos where they look like the Avengers? Well, great. You can, you know, just like you used to be able to buy your Iron Man costume at the store, you're going to buy your Iron Man pack and you and your buddies are going to look like Iron Man and Hawkeye, like, you know, on Twitch. That's what's going to really happen.
Ooh, I don't know about that, Ben. He's thinking too small there, man. Oh God. There's gonna be a lot of gay porn, you guys.
She's still stuck on the
Oh no, it's like a fucking nightmare. Because there's a lot of weirdos out there, John. Like, for example, I saw this article earlier this evening. We're not gonna get into this because it's getting late and I want to call it, but I mean, like people like this, couple with identity disorders who have over 400 personalities between them, revealed that they sometimes go a day without eating because their child alter egos don't know how to cook.
That's bizarre.
These kind of people are going to have access to AI. What kind of movies do you think these kind of people are going to be making?
Yeah.
Nothing good.
I think we're a little ways from that personalization of it, but yeah, I mean, at first that technology too that he's talking about, it'll probably be pretty costly. But like anything, like the computer itself, things get cheaper and cheaper, and yeah, it becomes for the masses
more mainstreamed or whatever, mainlined, streamlined.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Strange days.
It is very strange days. Oh, I did want to read you one more headline before I call the show. This was funny. I'm almost tempted to read the article. It says, notorious top mom Casey Anthony splits her married boyfriend after growing tired and restless of the forbidden fruit. I was like, what? Do you remember
Yeah.
Casey Anthony?
I do.
So apparently she broke up with her boyfriend, with her married boyfriend.
Do you want to inform me and inform some people in the chat who Casey Anthony is? Because
I'm sure this article will.
Okay.
Tom mom Casey Anthony has parted ways with her married boyfriend, and the notorious former murder defendant is telling friends that she simply grew tired of the relationship. She gets bored easily, says pal of Anthony, who became an international figure after the disappearance and murder of her 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee. That was so sad, man. That was so sad. It was very exciting when he was married because he was the forbidden fruit. But once she got him, there was nowhere to go, the insider continues. What was she going to do with him? She grew tired and restless, so it was time to move on. Oh my God, this bitch. Anthony, 38, has been dating 49-year-old Tyson Ray Rhodes since January. In September, the Post photographed the couple outside of a Tennessee apartment. Anthony and Rhodes met through the gym where they both worked out in South Florida. I can't imagine just being like, aren't you the lady that was accused of killing her kid? You want to go out on a date? You would have to be a special kind of weirdo to want to go out with like some chick that could have possibly killed her kid. Like, I don't know. That's
Yeah. I think
really
that
weird.
definitely says something about a person if they're willing to do that.
Why is this news? A good question. Should ask the New York Post.
This could be a study in psychology here.
Exactly. They joined a group text with other gym members, but soon began talking one-on-one, according to the sources. When Rhodes moved his family to Tennessee, Anthony followed along and got an apartment near his home. Oh my God, what a stalker.
What?
But the relationship came at a cost. Rhodes'
Yeah, of course.
decade-long marriage. Wow. Rhodes, an engineer for the aerospace company, had been married to his wife, Sandy, for 22 years. That's like me and my husband. Like, imagine me and my husband came to me and was like, Nina, I'm leaving you for a baby murderer. Like, I'd be like, what? I mean, I would be so depressed. I would if that was that woman, I would just be like so depressed. That is such a depressing thing.
Yeah. What do you want to be? Do you want to be with somebody
Who
that
wants to leave me for a baby murderer? No, you're
Yeah,
right. I wouldn't.
on some hand, or on one hand.
That's fucking insane.
But yeah, it's she must have had quite the pull.
The couple had 2 grown sons. At the time, a family source told the Post and Sandy, blindsided by the revelation that he was dating Anthony. Now, the Rhodes family source tells us that the Post that Rhodes feels he made a mistake. Wow. He gave up his entire family and marriage of 22 years, and now he's like, maybe I made a mistake. Wah, wah.
He was not thinking clearly.
He was thinking with his dick, John. You can say it.
Yeah.
He regrets leaving his marriage for her, the insider says. He wasn't thinking clearly.
I did not even read that. I did not even read that. I just wow. Maybe I did, like, maybe my eyes scanned over it. But I didn't consciously see those words, but that's
funny.
Yeah.
He has a lot of repairs to make. I wouldn't want to be him right now. Rhodes did not return the Post message for comment. It's been more than 15 years since Anthony first entered the public concession of blah, blah, blah. We already know the story. Poor little girl. That's her daughter that got killed.
Go back up to Casey Anthony's picture there in court. Does she remind you of the Penguin villain?
Oh my God. You mean the
What was
chick?
her name? Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of does look like her. By the way, did you see it?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, me too.
Yeah.
It was good, right? Did you like it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was
I
good.
I liked it too. I was like, this is great. I even liked it more than the Batman. Like I
think a lot of people did.
I liked it more than like like Pattinson's Batman.
Yeah.
I was like, this makes me want to go watch the movie again. Cause it was I don't know, man. It was well done. I
Yeah.
really like the Persian representation, John. I was like, yes, yes, I can
You
finally
can see
see
yourself.
myself. Yes. I was like, yes, I can see myself. I love that scene where he was like explain mind you, the dude was white, which was a letdown. I was like, but they couldn't get a Persian dude to act in this. I was like, I need to see myself more in this Persian man, but he was white. But his wife was Persian. And that scene where he's cooking the food and she's like, what kind of food is that? And he's like, "Khoresh de badem jun." And like they had taught him to say like Persian words. Like he I don't know if he actually speaks Farsi or like somebody walked him through it, or like how to say it, but he spoke it really well. And I was like really surprised. I was like, that's really cool that they put that aspect. And they had like Gugush playing in the background. It's like an old school
Oh wow.
Persian, singer that like is very well known. So I was like, wow, they've like really like keyed in on the details. Like Persian people were working on this show because they were like, we know like Persian culture. So I really like that. I was like,
That's cool. I didn't even I didn't notice that, but that's awesome.
I totally honed in on the Persianness. I
For
was like,
sure.
wait a minute, are these people Persian? I was like, oh, I'm so interested now. Oh, because I thought they were
That
going to
was
be Italian.
yeah. Shows how connected I am with my heritage. I didn't even
They did like Persian mob, and I was like, we don't have a mob. 200-watt studios for $5 says Wicked Pictures made AI gay porn called Bend Over Affleck or Ben Over Affleck.
I think you had it.
What?
The intention was right.
Wicked Pictures made AI game porn called Bend Over Affleck. What the fuck? Did they really? That's gross. I watched Wicked. Wicked was good. 201 Studios again for $5 says he had kids before he met her. She had him drop them off at the school dance before they could date. Oh, you mean Casey Anthony? Ooh, that's so fucking weird. Deranged Lunatic, thank you for the $1.99. My takeaway was that the Penguin has mommy issues. Yeah,
Definitely.
you don't say. You don't say. Okay, John, I think we're gonna leave it here.
All right.
Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, did
Yep.
you see The Gladiator?
No, I didn't. Did you see it?
No, I heard that movie sucked.
It looked the way they were
Apparent-
advertising it like crazy. It did not look good to me at all. I was
Dude,
kind of like,
apparently Michelle saw it from Toxic Femme, and she told me they put sharks in the fucking Coliseum. And I was like, you mean they actually jumped the shark? Like, and she was like, yes. Like it was
that's historically
horrible.
inaccurate.
Yeah, you
as
could
far
say
as I
like, how
know.
the fuck does that even happen? I was like, I mean, it's just it's really bad. Apparently, like it's terrible. And she was saying the CGI in it was awful, like not good.
Well, yeah,
at all.
what's going on? It seems like there's quite. I heard Megalopolis. The CGI was terrible in that too.
Awful,
Yeah.
like unreal bad. Like I was like, what the fuck? This one of the reasons I was like, I can't understand how this movie is even a thing was because of how bad the CGI was. I was like, I'm like, this story has to be good. Like,
Yeah, if
this
you're gonna
has
have
to
bad
go
CGI,
somewhere. Yeah.
if you have bad CGI, like a good story is a good story, no matter what.
Exactly.
And you can get by with shoddy CGI, but yeah, if you've got if it ain't
I
working,
can't
on
wait for
story
you to
level-
watch it so we can
Okay.
actually talk about it. But like the Penguin, I really liked it. The mommy issues of the Penguin, that was fucked up. Did you like the last scene? Well, not last scene, but like what he
Yeah.
did to that guy? I can't.
It.
I saw it coming though.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see it in that scene that it was gonna
No,
happen?
no,
or
no. I
did-
saw it coming because
Okay.
I was like after he was over, like what happened with his mom or whatever. I was like, he's never gonna want to feel that again, like that weakness. So I was like, oh yeah, that's coming. Like that guy,
Yeah.
that guy's gone.
It I think I was just so like letting the ride take me where like I wasn't doing a whole lot of guesswork because it was just like I'm just sitting down and I just want to enjoy the ride. I know there was talk on whether or not that character was going to survive the show, like if he was going to make it, like to the end or I know there's talk too about like will the penguin let him die if he gets kidnapped or something like that. So I was like, on the one hand, it's a terrible scene, like it's absolutely horrible, but I'm like that man,
that made him the character though.
Yeah.
Like that was like, okay, now he's really the penguin now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, before he kind of was, but he was skirting it because he still was like, I care about my mom. And then that was it. That moment was like, now he's a true villain. Like that was good. I was like, ooh,
the fact
not misunderstood.
Yeah, we'll keep it vague for the audience that hasn't seen it, but the fact that he even did what he did afterwards too, with the wallet, it's just like, man, this guy is complete. The only thing that made him likable was that connection that he had.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, and how he felt about his mom at the beginning, not at the end, because that was fucked up. But at the beginning, you're like, oh man, like his mom, like cares about his mom, and then you're like, I mean, because at first the funny part was that at first I was like, oh man, they're doing the whole, mommy is bad, so mommy made him like terrible or whatever. And like at first I thought they were going that direction, and I was like, eh. And then they were like, oh no.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean,
and then I felt bad for the mom because at first I was like, oh, you
right.
fucking terrible bitch. Like you made him, And then
it's
later
like,
on, I was like, oh, you poor woman. Like, oh no. Like, can you imagine? It was just like, oh my God. It was so well done. I was like, this is so well done.
Yeah, it was at the part, like, because everyone was kind of comparing it with The Sopranos, like that mother-son relationship.
I want to start watching that soon. I literally have it. I'm going to start it soon.
Yeah, but the Penguin did a great job in making that dynamic its own thing with that development and everything that happened with that.
You know what's so disappointing now, though, is that they're saying that the fucking Batman is like the script is not even done yet, apparently. So now I'm like, where do we go?
I thought
Matt
Reeves. It's not gonna come out till I think 26 though. But I thought the script was finished.
No. James Gunn said that we haven't seen a Batman script, like Batman 2 script or whatever.
Oh, okay. Maybe Matt Reeves is still writing. But I think it's 26 is the time frame.
You think so? I mean, if the script is not even done, like it was going to probably be like 28.
The Force Awakens. I remember they're talking about that movie, and that movie came out. Well, that's a whole nother story. So,
but they have to shoot it. They have to go to post-production. There's editing. I mean, there's no way it's going to be a year.
2026.
Nah, that
it might be late 2026 though. Like I don't think it will be. Yeah, October 2026. So they've got some time, basically 2 years.
That shit's getting postponed. I bet you it's going to be like either 27 or 28 because there's not even a script yet. I think
he's working on it though. I thought Matt Reeves he's at least
he's working on it, but it's not finished. So if he finishes it maybe by the end of the year or like possibly early 2025, then maybe we can get a movie by 2026.
No, it says it's complete.
The
Batman 2.
Last time I checked, last week, James Gunn was saying we still haven't seen a script.
Okay. Maybe he didn't turn it in. Maybe he finished the draft, but it says that the articles I'm looking at, Matt Reeves, this was September 20th. Matt Reeves shares exciting update on Batman Part 2. The script is finished. So I don't know.
I know. I remember because people were bringing that up, and then James Gunn said we haven't seen it. Like basically,
it's very odd.
I know that's.
But is that even part of his universe?
It's not part of his universe, but he has a say now. I think with regards to DC whatever happens to DC. So now he has a say. So he gets to read the script.
Did
So
he have a
him
say
and
with Joker too?
what's the other what's the other guy's name? Not Zaslav, but the other guy that runs the show. Is it Zaslav?
Might
don't
be. That sounds right, but
I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. That's what I saw like last week. He had written. He was like, "We haven't seen a script yet." And I was like,
oh,
"Oh,
okay.
well,
Well,
if you haven't
maybe
seen a script, then
maybe Matt Reeves is like, you're not touching my script.
yeah, maybe
Going
he's like,
straight
I
to Warner
haven't shown
Brothers.
it to you for a reason.
Yeah.
Fuck you."
Like I've got creative control. You okay, Joker too? I'm not going like we're not
I
working together.
know.
We're not
Oh
working
my
together.
god, dude! You know what? I'm not watching Joker 2. You're morbidly curious
Oh,
about it.
absolutely.
I'm like, I could stay the fuck away from this movie because I don't ever want to ruin Joker 1 for myself. So I'm just not gonna watch Joker 2. Just like I didn't watch like The Rise of Skywalker.
You
I'm just not
can't.
gonna.
I mean,
just
I
not
could
gonna do
view.
it.
You can't view things in isolation. Like
No,
okay,
because it ruins it for me. I'll end up
That's
thinking
fair.
about the other one forever because it's like I just know that they're together. I just
EVS like Joker too.
I know he did, but he's insane. I mean, it's okay. Like it's okay to be
He's
wrong.
well.
once
He's
in a
an.
while.
I think he's an artist, and I think that's probably the thing that he appreciated about Tom or what's his name, Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips.
Yeah, I think that's the thing he appreciated was like an artist did, for better or for worse, he did his thing. He did what he wanted to do.
See, that's what I feel about Francis Coppola's movie.
Yeah.
No, like sometimes it's like that you need a friend to be
You
like,
need a committee or you need
bro,
some
like,
people.
yeah, like maybe don't do that. Like maybe don't ruin your entire legacy. Like, you know what I mean? Like people have a certain respect for you. It's like, now they're not going to because it's like, oh, you really fucked that over.
I think a greater well, here's not a greater question, but another question is it just better that even bad things are made in attempts to do something great and they exist rather than if, we just waited on complete perfection or we were so perfectionistic that we never took swings and we never did anything?
That's a good question. I think that certain things you don't need. Like Joker 2 is a sequel. You don't necessarily need to make that. You've already
Sure.
made your art. Like that standalone Joker kind of like, oh, I want to make the origin story, but a different type of origin story about Arthur Fleck and like how he becomes the Joker in this very realistic way that feels really grounded. Like he already did that, right? So I just feel like, why do you need something? I just don't think like it's needed. But then again, like EVS made the argument that everything is needed. Like that you like there's no such thing as a not needed thing, and I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that concept because I do think some things are not needed. I think you can not make The Last Jedi.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
There's
the
just
market,
certain things like no.
yeah, and I think that's where the market will determine things as well in terms of like the public opinion or the court of public opinion, where the court of public opinion obviously said this is not needed. Like Joker 2
well,
is,
like but for example, with to your point, I don't agree with regards to Megalopolis. I think Megalopolis was needed because Megalopolis was an original idea. It's a swing and a miss, it's like he tried something, it didn't work, but that's fine because he's exercising his creativity, he's making whatever, like what he thought he was making a movie for himself. Realistically, that's what he was doing. He was making a movie for himself, not for anybody else, and he had earned that right. I mean, it's Francis Coppola.
He bankrolled the picture.
Yeah, so he's earned that right to do that. Whereas with Joker 2, I don't see it that way because again, Joker 2 is a sequel. You already had a perfect movie that could have been a perfect standalone movie in a separated universe from Batman. You never needed it. Like, you never needed to combine it to anything else. It was just a perfect one-off. And then he went and was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna do this like weird musical, like of all things."
Yeah, it was a
It,
very interesting creative choice, especially if you're trying to sell it to the masses. You're trying to sell it
yeah,
to a lot of people. Now, I want to ask you this question. Do you think if Todd Phillips went in this direction, I'm going to tell the story. The first movie is like the origin story of the Joker. The second movie will be how he starts off as this, kind of iconic figure for criminals or, people that are restless. And he becomes the criminal kingpin by the end of the film.
yes, I would have liked
Does
that.
that story make more sense in terms
Yes,
of like, because he still
I
has
will.
an arc?
Yeah, because I personally would have, if there were going to make a Joker 2, which I still say was unnecessary. I think the first film would have been perfect on its own. But if he was going to make the Joker 2, I would have liked him to become the clown kingpin, or what do they call Prince of
Prince of
Crime or whatever? Yeah, the
yeah,
the clown Prince of Crime or
that's it.
whatever. So I would have liked to see him like that, kind of like the way the Penguin
Yeah.
was. But the Penguin took its time. Like it wasn't like, oh, it wasn't a movie. It was way longer than a movie. It was a series that told a very good, very nice paced story that you could kind of like walk with and be like, okay, I'm going to get to know this guy. I'm going to get to know his henchmen. I'm going to get to know his mother. I'm going to get to know all of these people in his life, and really bond with these characters and then be taken for a ride. Whereas with Joker, you're not doing that. Like, I mean, you can't do that in a movie anyway. You would have to be a really good filmmaker to do that in a 2-hour movie, right? But he certainly didn't do it with a musical. I mean, it's weird that he chose to do what he did. Like, I'm only speaking from like knowing basically all the spoilers. Like, to go from that to like the courtroom drama and like all
Yeah.
this stuff, I feel like it's a waste. Like, you could have had like a court thing for the first maybe like 10-15 minutes of the movie, and then he not only does he break out, he gets basically like, what's the word? He get bailed out, like, because like, the Joker he doesn't even need to get fucking broken out of prison at that point. He can get bailed out, and then he can go back to do whatever the fuck kind of crime he wants. He'll get away with the crime, is what I'm trying to say. Like, not even like bail. He'll be like case dismissed, like that kind of thing. Where he just goes on to becoming an actual crime boss. Like, that would have been really cool. But then we got this weird, and the other side of the equation too was like, I heard like Gaga was misused. Like, it was like, apparently, because she's a good actress, like she can act.
She's got some range.
Yeah, so like the fact that they made her like have to sing was apparently a detriment to the film, because it's like the musicals didn't really make sense in that sense. So if they have just made her Harley Quinn, as in, you meet Harley Quinn, that was the other part of the story that I would have liked to see, was really the fall of Harley. I would have really liked to see that whole, him going to Arkham, and then he meets the doctor, like Dr. Quinzel or whatever her name is. And then she becomes, she gets broken by him, and she becomes the Harley.
Yeah.
And it becomes Joker and Harley, and then they break out of Arkham together. That would have been a really cool story too.
That could definitely, that could have worked, I think, for sure.
Especially if you wanted to have Harley in it, that would have been really cool to see. But instead, they have this like, what? Like, Harley Quinn's like some fangirl, and like, she's, I don't know, man. He went weird with it.
You think the success went to his head for Todd Phillips? Like, he had this incredible hit, and then he thought he could do whatever he wanted?
This has been like a back and forth argument I've had with a couple people, like Tom, and this has been a kind of a discussion of whether or not he actually meant to tell everyone to go fuck themselves with this movie. I haven't decided, because I haven't seen it. I can't really tell, but in some ways I feel like he did feel, like he regretted making the first film. And it was like, okay, I don't want to be like, I don't like the audience I've cultivated. So like I do want to tell them to fuck off. And I do want to hurt them in some way by showing them that what they thought was untrue. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because at first it was like, you know, when he made the Joker, like, dude, the media was all like, oh, people are gonna go kill people in the movie theater to watch this shit. And now it's like, you know, from that to this, like this conformity, I don't know. Like it just feels so weird for him to do.
Yeah.
Chris Coran says for $2, happy
Hey.
Thanksgiving, Nina and John. Let's fucking go Lions.
Yes. Yes. What's up,
Is
Chris?
that your
Good to see
team?
you. Oh yeah, man. Detroit is on a roll. We were 10-1.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like we're Super Bowl favorites. And I'll
Ooh.
just leave it at that at this point. Like,
Wait, when's the Super Bowl again?
I think it's early February, maybe in some cases late January, but no, I think it's early February usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, a lot of people think this Joker 2 is a big go fuck yourself to the fans of the first film. And that's one of the reasons I don't really want to watch it. Because I'm like, I was a fan of the first film and I don't want to be told to go fuck myself.
Yeah, I am morbidly curious about this film.
You tell me how it is. Okay. You watch it. I trust you. February.
You know,
Okay.
if EVS said it's art, you know, like I'll definitely because I think
EVS though, to be fair with
choosing the
EVS,
contrary or
yes.
okay.
I think he's being a little bit of a contrarian.
Okay.
Pulling a lofty, I feel like, because of the amount of people that disliked it and who specifically disliked it. That's my personal feelings on it. I don't, you know, I just think that he's being a little bit of a contrarian when it comes to that. But then again, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't
say
quite,
for
say for sure.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion of like there are things that I like because they are just so countercultural, but they're so counter to
They just go against the grain.
Yeah, and it's like I rather a movie do that than just be the same formulaic, boring thing that I've seen and gotten before. That's where I'm like, I'm cool. I'm cool with the director swinging for the fences and completely missing. Like, I'd rather watch that movie, like a Megalopolis that is just out there or so different, than watch the same formulaic, you know, 2.5 star movie or 3-star. You know, like I'm that's kind of where I'm at, just because I've consumed probably, just so many different. You know, I'm a little
but
bit.
That's why, like, the Penguin shocked me because I was like, you know, I went in there and a lot of people were saying it was great. Mind you, I watched it after it was over because I told Anna, like, I was like, I told Anna, that Star Wars girl, I was like, you tell me if it's good at the end and I'll watch it, because otherwise I really don't care about the Batman universe. Like, I mean, you know, the Pattinson universe didn't impress me. I didn't like Pattinson as Batman. And I liked the Penguin. Actually, the Penguin was my favorite part about the Batman movie. I was like, that's a really good fucking Penguin, because it was shocking to see how well Colin Farrell did it. But like when they made the series, I was not expecting it to go this nicely, like in terms of pacing, or it was surprising. It was surprising to see that they didn't do the same old. Like, it didn't feel like the same old. And it certainly wasn't like, let's make a misunderstood villain. And that's what I really liked, was that he wasn't misunderstood. And that's, at first I was a little worried because I was like, are they doing the whole misunderstood villain thing again? Like, I don't care about the Penguin being like this little, you know, like poor little penguin. Like, no. But then it wasn't like that. So that's why I really like that. Whereas with most other stuff nowadays, it's like, oh, the villain is so misunderstood. Like, everybody needs to feel sorry for the villains. And I'm like, I don't know if the Joker 2 is like that at all, but the Joker 1 was kind of like that, where it was like, saying like, oh, everybody can be pushed to the edge, and like, it can, anybody can be Arthur Fleck, and in some ways it was fine,
It
but then
created
like,
a conversation in terms of like, yeah, like
yeah, but
where's
now everything is like that. Now everyone's Arthur Fleck. Now everyone's misunderstood. And I was
right?
just like, I'm over this shit. Like, where's the villains? Like, I
Did-
want a villain.
Yeah,
Like,
did you binge watch The Penguin?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I
nice.
was like, it went, like I went right after the other because, again, I've been so disappointed, John, that I was like, if Anna tells me it's good, I'll watch it. Like, and she's pretty picky. So if she
Yeah.
was like, oh no, it sucks, then I was like, I wasn't even gonna bother with it.
Sure.
But then it was so good that I started watching it and I was like, okay, this is great. And that woman, what's her name? Oh, she blew me away, man. Like,
Oh, I can't believe I already
chick.
forgot her name. Milan.
I know, I've totally forgotten her name too.
Somebody mentioned it in the chat. I was like, yep, that's it. When we talked about her earlier.
Sophia Falcone, but Christine Milotti.
Yeah.
Milotti, yeah. Kristen Milotti. And you know what's weird is I knew her from like freaking How I Met Your Mother. Like, I was like, man, this bitch is from How I Met Your Mother, like the last season. And I remember really disliking it because I hated the last season of How I Met Your Mother. And now I'm like, man, this bitch, she got like a really raw, like, she got a bad deal from How I Met Your Mother because clearly she has a lot of talent and she's like been misused in Hollywood like until now, because she clearly is like a very, very good actress. That whole thing, like her experience in Arkham, like so real. Like, my goodness, like the way she acted was so fantastic. I thought they were gonna go like psycho with her for a minute, and I thought like they did a really good job with that whole thing because I felt bad for her, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I would do exactly what she fucking did. Like, I'd be like,
Yeah.
if you sent me to that place, I would definitely do what she did as payback. That crazy guy too, like the one that was her doctor, that guy was like such a freak. And then they started sleeping together and she started torturing him. And I was like, these fuckers are such, they're so fucked.
A lot of dysfunction going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But then it's like, okay, so like the ending though is definitely going to, I like clearly was like hinting at Batman 2.
Yeah.
So
Once
I
that
wonder,
last shot was like, once they pulled out in the city,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just like, man.
That was well
I mean,
done.
yeah, I'm just like, that's how you do it. Like, it's, there wasn't like the pacing. I think you brought it up earlier. It really is just a sound example of like just a great, like every episode, there wasn't one bad episode. They all moved the story along. They moved the characters along. There's
The
arcs.
music was fucking good too.
Yeah.
Like the music, the score, all of it. Like there wasn't really any weak points. I was like, this is
No.
all a positive, like, which is so weird. It's weird to feel like that about shows. For example, I started watching Arcane season 2. What a letdown that fucking
I didn't
show
see.
is. My
What's it
God.
called?
Arcane season 2, mind you, that's on Netflix. So I don't think
Okay.
you I don't
I
think
actually
it's
did
gonna
get
have-
Netflix back because they
Oh,
took,
did you?
yeah, they took Cuties. They finally took
They
Cuties off
took
the
it
air.
off. That's
Yeah.
true.
I'm like, I can get Netflix again, and now I never
Now you
watch
can
it.
finally watch Cobra Kai, which, by the way, again, what a letdown. My God, the new season of
Really, it's not
Cobra
so great.
Kai. Because, okay, the new season of Cobra Kai, they're releasing like season 6. They're releasing in 3 parts. Season 1, season 6, part 1 was, I was like, okay, we're trudging along. I was like, okay, all right. Part 2, my God, what a it's going like this for me right now. I'm like,
Is this the
part
final
3,
season?
yes, and
Okay.
part 3 would it's gonna have to it's taking a nosedive right now for me. So part 3 has to really
Really
pull
be
it up.
good.
Like you have to really it's gonna be a hard landing. I think that show went on for too long. I really do. I think it like they milked it a little bit too long. Like I think it could have ended like 2 seasons ago, and it would have been a great series. But now it's just like, where are we going with this, guys? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like one of those things where you definitely have to suspend your disbelief to like watch the series. But then, man, is it just they had like freaking like in the new season, like in the part 2, they had like freaking Russia phobia in it, and I was like, really? Like in this show? Oh man, it's just so cringe. I was like, oh man, this is cringe shit. But you won't understand what I'm saying to you at all because you haven't even seen the first one, which
No,
by the way, I
I
think is a masterpiece. The first season is the
no,
masterpiece.
I've seen Cobra Kai because I did have Netflix up until 2019. So I think I got 3 seasons in.
Oh, you did? So
Yeah.
you saw the fight in school and
No.
everything?
Here's the thing. Cobra Kai used to be on YouTube.
It used to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you
So I
probably
watched
watched the first season on YouTube.
Yeah, and I think I saw this at least at the very least the second season. I feel like I
Because
saw
I
the
think
third
the
season too.
second season they went to Netflix, didn't they?
Yeah,
I think.
I think so.
So
Yeah,
you
but
must
no,
have
I
missed season 2.
binged. Yeah, I binged. I did see the second season because
Oh, okay.
I saw when they got in the fight at the school and somebody fell off the stairwell or something.
Yeah, that was that was that I think that was like season 2, end of
And then
season 2. That's the
okay,
school fight.
yeah, and Elizabeth Shue comes back into it.
That's season 3.
3. Okay, and I
Yeah.
thought I saw somehow I seen that even though I didn't have Netflix. I don't know if I saw it over my brother's house. I might have seen that. But that was about it at that point.
Cavatinho says, heard the movie with Jackie Chan, Ralph Bakshi, and Ming Na is connected to the other movies and Cobra Kai. Look, man, they're gonna have to I heard the Jackie Chan movie is like set in 5 years after whatever is gonna happen in this, like in this part 3. So whatever happens in part 3, there's obviously a sequel movie that's coming out with Jackie Chan in them. But to end the series, they're gonna need to do a lot of work to end it solidly, in my opinion. Because I didn't like part 2. I was like, holy fuck, this is bad. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it was bad. I didn't like it.
Okay.
I'm sure other people would disagree. I'm sure some people disagree. But I guess we'll find out. We'll find out when it comes out. But John, I'm tired now. So let's
we
call
want
it.
to. Yeah.
I love you and I love the chat. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us on this very soon to be Thanksgiving Eve now, but very soon to be Thanksgiving on the East Coast. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you for watching. Special thanks to those of you who super chatted, became a member, gifted membership, all that good stuff. Thank you for supporting the channel. You guys are great. John, please tell everyone where to find you and what you got coming up next.
You can subscribe to John Talks 2. There will be probably more videos coming out there. And I also have another channel, John Talks Entertainment, where we'll see if this video ever gets put out, but I'm penning this well, we'll see if it gets finished, but it has to do with James Bond. I don't know if it's gonna
wait, so you have a new entertainment channel?
I do. I actually reviewed the first 2 episodes of The Penguin. They weren't necessarily like the best videos, but I put them out.
Oh.
But I think I'd like to do video essays concerning entertainment instead of, talking to the camera and doing commentary. Like I would like
Is
to
it
do.
actually called John Talks Entertainment?
Yes. It might be hard to find because it's
it's
it's at the bottom of the barrel. I think I got like 80 subscribers on there. But I will put it.
Yeah, can you put it in the chat? I want to
yes.
subscribe.
Appreciate it. If I can, how do I go to my channel? There we go.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way with with the good news channel right now.
It's a
grind.
It's a grind, yeah. Especially when you start from you're starting from zero. That's the toughest part You know, you like your first 100 subscribers is probably, you know, obviously if you can pull people from, you know, from your other channel to that channel, that's cool. But yeah, I think like your first 1,000 subscriber, I mean, just everything is such a grind at the beginning. And
It really is.
yeah, it took me, with my original channel, definitely took me some time. And that on the one hand, it kind of like weeds out people who are like serious and not serious about doing it, because it's you know, but once you get the ball rolling, it does, you know, it does become easier. It's just finding what works and finding your audience and them finding you, which is tricky.
Yeah, it takes a minute. Well, good luck with it. And
likewise.
I put notifications on yours because I want to hear you talk. I want to hear this.
I appreciate it. We'll
I'm
see if
like,
anything ever
how
comes
did I
up.
not know about this already? I'm planning, you know, but you know what they say, DL, you make plans and God laughs. I am planning on playing the rest of at least some of that cat game tomorrow. So maybe I'm gonna do on my new gaming channel, I'm gonna be playing the cat game, part 2. So that'll be fun. Go and watch it. Give me the watch hours, people. Okay. You guys have been great. Rumblers, thank you again for watching over on Rumble as well. And for the Rumble rants. You guys have been fantastic. Any parting words before we go?
If I had my cowbell here, I'd say, I gotta have more cowbell. I gotta have it.
Oh, you need your cowbell back. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye. Oh, I pressed the wrong one. Bye.
Yeah.